remove करला तो remove कर दूँगा ना तो कैसा remove करना भी so please mute your audio and video please. So we are going to start at sharp 9 a.m. So please mute your audio and video. Thank you. Sujata ma'am, please, Sujata ma'am, please mute your video and audio too. Sujata ma'am, Sujata Das, please mute your audio and video. Thank you. So it's a great morning to one and all present over this virtual platform. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pokemon University, Professor Madhumita Das ma'am, esteemed Principal, Professor Sushil Kumar Girisa, today's dignitaries, Professor K. Srinivas, Head of the ICT Department and Project Management Unit, National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, New Delhi, and with us, Dr. Macario G. Gaeta, professor and researcher, University of East Colocan, Manila, Philippines. And we have with us Mr. S. Rajkumar sir, Assistant Professor, Thagarajar College of Preceptors, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. And with us, our respected HOD, Professor Ramesh Chandra Patra sir, Mr. Triveni Dharamam, and our organizing team, and most importantly, today's virtual participants from India. So is it audible? Please mute your audio. Is it audible? Yeah. So as I am telling that our virtual participants from all over India and abroad, myself, Dr. Jagannath Kumar, I welcome you all to this virtual platform, especially our today's dignitaries, Professor K. Srinivas sir, who is otherwise known as the father of Moodle, and he was an expert in ICT and different ICT designing different ICT tools, techniques from all over India and abroad also. Also, Macario Gate is very eminent in IT sector, and I also extend my welcome to Macario Zigayet sir and Mr. Assistant Professor Rajkumar sir to this platform. So now it's a time for introducing our dignitaries. For that, I would like to request our respected HOD, Professor Ramesh Chandra Patra sir, to introduce our today's dignitaries. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Kumar sir. Hello, good morning to all. And I myself, Ramesh Chandra Patra, HOD Department of Education, RHS Bhogarai, welcome to the second day international workshop by virtual mode on transforming teaching learning through technology and gaming, organized by the Department of Education, RHS Bhogarai. We have among us our VC ma'am, Dr. Madhumita Das, Vice Chancellor, Fakirmon University, Balasur, Orissa. She is an eminent figure in the field of geology. Professor Das, she has carried out her research as a DUD Fellow under Indo-German Exchange Program. She also, as a participant, gave his research talk in different places like Japan, China, UK, Portugal, Norway, Australia, South Africa. Especially, she is known for her active association with various international research organizations such as International Association for Gondwana Research, International Medical Geology Association, Indian Institute of Mineral Engineering, and many other places. Now, I congratulate to our principal, Sir Sushil Kumar Giri sir, who is a continuous resource of inspiration for organizing this workshop. He is a very dynamic person and good administrator, and also a good teacher, and also a good academician. We have Among us, Professor Dr. K. Srinivas as a keynote speaker. Professor Srinivas, head of ICT and Project Management Unit of National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration, NIPA, Government of India. He held his PhD degree in computer science. Professor Srinivas is the member of the core committee of Special Center of E-Learning of Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, and a Senate member of Indian Institute of Information Technology. Dr. Srinivas is also a member of the Academic Council, Lady Duck College, Madurai, Tamil Nadu website, and a member of Academic Advisor Council for NCERT, SWAM MOOCs, UGC SWAM MOOC. Professor Srinivas is a member of Advisory Committee on School of Education under the scheme of Pandit Madan Mohan Malavya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching of MHRD. His area of interests are e-learning, blended learning, MOOCs, ICT-enabled pedagogy, computer applications in project management, e-governance, and having more than 30 years of experiences in the areas of teaching, research industry, and consultancy. Professor Srinivas also conducts teacher training workshops both at school education and higher education across the country. He has written a number of articles on different aspects on university automation, governance, training needs, etc. All are published in research journals. Among us, Dr. Macario G. Gaeta, as resource person. Dr. Macario G. Gaeta is a professor, researcher, and international journal reviewer in education, management, business, and tourism. He is a full-time professor in the University of East Caloocan, Metro Manila, the Philippines, under the College of Arts and Science. Dr. Gaeta holds Doctor of Education in Educational Management, PhD in English, and PhD in International Hospitality and Tourism Management at Lyceum of the Philippines University. Dr. Gaeta is a World Summit speaker, international reviewer, keynote speaker in different areas like journals of business and tourism, education, and different research works. His special interests are technology and management, ICT in education, ESL, anxiety, cross-cultural communication, social media, advertising and promotion, educational management and leadership, and crisis management and communication. Among us, Dr. S. Rajakumar is our resource person in this workshop. Professor Dr. Rajkumar, the Assistant Professor Education in Thagariajar College of Preceptors, Madurai. Dr. Rajkumar holds the degrees like MSc Botany, MSc Psychology, MEd, MPhil in Education, postgraduate diploma in guidance counseling, and 2 times topper in NET and SET. He held his PhD in the field of educational technology at Madurai Kamaraj University. Dr. Rajakumar published among many research articles in various national and international UGC referred journals. Dr. Rajakumar is a social worker and had awarded Asian Admirable Achiever. He is an active life member in the professional bodies in different organizations of different states like Assam, Delhi, Orissa, and Tamil Nadu. Dr. Raja Kumar, having unique style of teaching and acted as a resource person for NCRT, CIET in this pandemic period. Thus, my introduction in brief about the eminent speakers and resource persons in our second day workshop. Now, it is over to Dr. Kumar to conduct the meeting.
Sir, thank you very much for this warm welcome. And we are having our esteemed Professor K. Srinivas. As I told already, he is known as father of modules from India, and his work I cannot explain. You just listen to him, then you can understand the personality and the things he had done in his till today. So over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Jagannath, and the respected principal of the Rural Institute of Higher Studies, Bhograi, Odisha, and the organizers of this international workshop on transforming teacher learning process through technology and gaming, and the participants and students and fellow delegates. Good morning, namaskar, sat sri akal, and assalamu alaikum. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to interact with you, your group. Jagannath, till what time I'll continue my class, my session?
Sir, you can continue till 10:10 or more than that, sir. Also.
Yeah. Fine. Thank you very much. But let me make it clear. So I'll see whatever best it is possible. I think within 1 hour is good enough for me to. Friends, we all know very well that the pandemic, the current pandemic of this COVID-19 has given us many opportunities. And why I've been saying opportunities means it was across the world is looking something differently, but especially in India and even abroad, internationally also, it has given a lot of opportunities where the technology enabled teaching could be a part of the game. So in that context, everybody is talking about the technology. Everybody is talking about the education and technology. Everybody wants to work, and there are a lot of aspirations are there, a lot of challenges are there, a lot of issues are there. And even though you have a good gadgets and many other facilities or don't have facilities, so what is important for me as a teacher, and we need to identify those the competencies where the teacher has to build, and accordingly the competencies we need to work on those competencies to work with. As I already mentioned to you that I have made a small presentation also here, and I'll just take a few minutes to show you that presentation. And see, actually I made it in such a way that we all of us can able to understand with that concept of building that. Jagannath just confirmed to me that my screen is visible and I am audible clearly to all the participants.
Yes, sir. It's visible and you are audible, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Jagannath. Friends, now this is the title of my presentation, which I speak for next 1 hour. Building the competencies of teachers for the online teaching. Many of you must be thinking that, no, why Professor Srinivas took this one? It is okay. I think it's not okay, friends. Why I've been saying that? It is not okay because primarily for a reason that it is a different, completely different ball game altogether when we start teaching in a online mode. Okay, right now we were there in a conventional classroom system, and from moving from the conventional classroom system to the online system, and requires different complete process altogether. It's not automatic. So there are certain competencies the teacher has to build, and I'll be focusing on those competencies. What are it will be there, and let me start with a famous picture which we have been watching for so many years. Being a teacher is not so easy, and and that too when we can add technology into that, and it is more difficult. It is more so difficult. And you want to be a best teacher. Everybody want a best education, best quality, and world class, international, and recognized and all. This is what I've been trying to say, that it's not so easy to be a teacher, but what is important for us, we are doing our best to being a teacher, is that. And okay, what are the issues? Let's try to understand, focus on that. And this COVID-19, especially, of course, it happens both with the school education and the higher education. And so both the teaching groups and student groups have been pushed out of their university campuses to the safety of their homes. So what happened here? Then suddenly we were told both groups are grappling with a new norm of COVID enforced technology mediated teaching learning process. And in this process there are certain issues which requires lot of attention from every teacher. First aspect is lack of training in pedagogy. So which pedagogy is going to be adopted in online teaching? Because we found only the I mean to say Zoom, and whatever the way we have been teaching in a conventional classroom teaching, we have been doing the same thing over there. And again people have been started saying, no, 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 this is not working, that is not working. The second important issue is about the instructional design. So what instructional design to be followed, and what are the issues to be addressed over here? That is again one has to be clear. And the third important thing is assessments are very important. And we want to see that the technology oriented student learning outcomes, how do we measure that, how do we test that? And the last but not the least are the resources. And resources are very important for the online mode of teaching. And the question comes that every time people have been asking that, do we need to create the resources, or I'll try to this. These are the competencies I've been talking about. These are the competencies. Having a subject expertise is not enough to be a teacher. And go for a best teacher, go for a quality teacher, and all these things will be a little later component of that. But what is important to me of these four aspects, and one thing which is non-negotiable outside of this purview is the domain expertise. All right. So you should have the domain expertise, and without all these things will only happen when we have that proper domain expertise. Then only the things can move into that. Okay, let me move on to the next part of it. So again, before there is a lot of confusion about the technology, because we have been talking about the technology, and I want to make some of the things very clear here. And is that technology is not a miraculous cure for all educational ailments. It is only as a catalyst. And the human being who is going to manage the technology is far far superior than the technology. So uh, I completely agree with you that technology is an enabler, technology is a facilitator. But the point which I want to say it, If the teacher was not sensitized, if the teacher is not oriented, if there is no hands-on exposure, and we cannot, we have, there is no creativity and innovation, no technology will help. Technology cannot work on its own. Please try to understand. Please make a point. Is that that is one of the important point which I just want to make it here. The second important thing is effectiveness of the technology is directly proportional to the competence and intention of the user. And if so we need to bring, we need to build the competency. This is what my session today. And we need to bring the we need to give the right intention to the people. Not only 1% or 1% or 10% will work and 90% may not be using it. Not, we want to see that every one of them can able to use it, and every one of them can able to take an advantage of the process. The point number three, which I just want to make it very clear: technology is like antibiotic. Right dose is helpful, a wrong dose harmful. Okay. And technology is not only the tools, it includes techniques too. And the last point is, and this is a very important point, technology is a means, not an end. Okay. And especially in this particular pandemic situation, we want to see that how best using this technology we can engage and encourage our students into this. Now we can see the first and foremost the paradigm shift. So in a conventional classroom teaching, and even in so what used to happen, it is mostly on a centralized learning model. And even the new education policy 2020, where recently the government of India has brought forward, and they are given a more emphasis on learner centric approach as well as the learning centric approach. And we had to make we need to understand very clearly. In the first picture you can see it's basically a push mode of learning. Teacher comes, delivers lecture, teacher comes, deliver lecture, and that's what been happening. And that particular pedagogical approach which we have been using in our conventional classroom teaching. But unfortunately the same method is also being followed in our online mode of teaching, which I've been saying may not be going to yield the required results. So that we need to make the change in this context. So in the learner centric or a learning centric approach, a classroom, and that means teacher interaction is one component only. There are multiple options are there. We can use those options, and so that we can see the all-round development of the students are can able to take an advantage of this. Okay. And moving on to the next point, one of the famous quote I take from Albert Einstein, which he quotes, which I says, I quote, "I do not teach anyone. I only provide the environment in which they can learn." So, what is important in this case, when you read between the lines, is the teacher need to provide the environment to the learners to learn. The teaching learning is a process. It's not like a one-way communication kind of a thing. So that the learning should happen. This is a very important statement. This applies both for the conventional as well as online mode of a teaching. And look at the Alvin Toffler, a famous quote of learn, unlearn, and relearn. And many times this applies again both for the conventional mode of teaching and the online mode of teaching. And precisely in the online mode of teaching, because in a conventional mode of teaching, we are only between the four walls of the classroom, and it only between you and me and that four wall. But now the across the world, our lectures are going off. And so what is important is always we try to strive for the best. I'm not saying that quality improvement cannot happen overnight. It has to, we had to strive for the best and look forward to always try to learn. And if there is a scope for unlearn and there is a scope for relearn, always it used to happen. This is kind of an attitude is, and very importantly, I wish to bring to one more new dimension, that attitude and when we compare attitude and aptitude, first and foremost thing, in my opinion, attitude matters. First of all, if you have the right intent, and with then only the competencies will work. Otherwise, we always thinks that it may work, it may not work into that. Let me bring to you one more dimension as a teacher, how I am operationalizing all these ideas. This is what precisely I just want to spend some 5 minutes over there. Like you people, I am also one of a teacher in a teaching learning environment. And What is important for me, I think many people are writing the comments, because since I have only 1 hour time, and during my talk itself, I'll try to cover up those things which can be done. The point which I've been trying to say that I'm talking about the pre-COVID period time. Pre-COVID period, before the class, before my students attends the class, there is a small step which I follow. That is, if you can see this, whatever you could able to see it on your screen is my learning management system. And this learning management system, what I've been I've been using this learning management system, where whatever the topic, whatever the theme which I'm going to discuss with my students or lecture with my students, I provide the reading material well in advance, number one. Along with that reading material, I encourage them to participate in that collaborative learning environment. That is number two. And after completing these two processes, I ensure that every student must complete this process before going to my class, before coming to my class. This is one of the important steps. And so it has got two advantages. Advantage number one is, like in my class, like any other classes, I have slow learners, I have average learners, I have gifted learners, and all other issues are there. So my point in this case is, in this context, when I come to my class, I have a complete thorough understanding that what they have done. So it depends. And at the same time, like you, I'm also teaching a topic in three different levels. First of all, let me give the basics first. Once the basics understood, I'll go for the advanced level of the topic. Then after the basics and advanced, I will go for the application level. So what happened here, what is the advantage which I got it in this particular thing is, when I create this kind of an environment, I will be having a complete command or control over the system, and where my students are lagging. So when I go to the class with the complete analytics and complete diagnosis of because I'm encouraging my students to be part of that collaborative learning platform called a discussion forum, which is associated with this one. And this almost looks like a WhatsApp or a Telegram kind of an environment. So what happened when I'm asking my students to be there, so when I deal with them, it's working. At the same time, and I always engage my students, encourage my students to find out a suitable material. See, whatever the material which I've been sharing as a reading material is my best of my ability I do. But if they found, as per the objectives of that week, as per the expected student outcomes, if they find any better study material, better reading material, better then they can supplement. Friends, I must tell you and place on record, many of the students are very encouragingly following in this one, because they feel it is their system, it is our system, it's not like the teacher's responsibility. And I must tell you that these things are very much in part of this. This can happen into this. um, And there is one question some of our colleagues are asking also, that how can the teachers be build competency those who are ignorant in computer knowledge, even the smartphone? See what happened. Is there any government provision to train up these teachers? Yes, of course. And both school education level to the higher education level, you see, there is in India there is a concept called UGC HRDCs, formerly they call it as academic staff colleges. They are conducting different types of refresher courses, orientation programs, and faculty induction programs. Nowadays, they're focusing on mostly on that. But what I'm trying to say, that technology is not only the way. So many of the times, the initiation has to come from within, and then only the things can able to happen into that. This is what my take in this case is. Okay, so what is the need of the hour? And let's make use of this lockdown period, and an important activity and opportunity also, and relevant to the present situation. And second point, very important point, what is the role of the teacher? It's not simply delivering a lecture. We need to engage the students continuously. So different methods are there, whether you can use the social media, whether you can use the audio messages. And because network is erratic in some cases, and students may not be having the gadgets and all. But whatever the best way, see, this is what I've been saying, that whatever the best way you can communicate and contact with your learners, you should able to do it. And very importantly, whatever the way you first of all wants to communicate, you should be thorough into that. Okay, not necessary. I always say that I stand on my strength. Okay, and I always try to, I don't want to stand on someone's strength, and I don't want to comment on someone's weaknesses. So always, and I'll try my best so that to convert my weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges as a strength. And we need to complete strive for the best on a regular basis. And to do all these things, what is very important is time to adopt the change. Okay, so and many things may not be, even I'll tell you, 7 years back we don't know what is a WhatsApp. Now without WhatsApp we cannot even live. And probably around a similar time, Facebook, Twitter, and many things, we hardly use internet a few times only. I'm talking about the educational needs, not for the general option as such. But my point in this case is, now hardly, because of the per bandwidth costing has been come down, and the good quality mobile phones, and many options are available. So what is important is, even after all these things, what is very important is adapting the change. I have told you very clearly in the first instance. And the effectiveness of the technology is completely directly proportional to the and competence and intent of the user who is going to use it. Okay. Because since I have talked about the four important options, and in the beginning, the issues I said, first one is about the pedagogical aspect, second one is about the resources aspect, third one is about the instructional design aspect, and fourth one is about the issues and challenges related to that. So the first one is, because we want to see that which pedagogy need to be adopted. So one of the pedagogical model, and I don't want to get into the research and research findings here. What I'm trying, because my session is mostly on building the competencies of the teachers for the online teaching. One of the pedagogy which is very much useful, and bringing, aligning with the students, and bringing the students and teachers with an activity based learning, is the flipped classroom pedagogy. In the so the first this is the first important thing. And the teachers has to make a very clear call on this. So the flipping the classroom is a pedagogy first approach, where teachers in which the teachers are going to provide the reading material well in advance outside the class. and in class is being repurposed for inquiry, application, and assessment in order to better meet the needs of the individual learners. So basically this is an activity based, and this supports the very importantly the the moving from the conventional sage on the stage teacher's role, or from the sage on the stage to the guide on the side. That's very important point which I just want to say it here. Okay, so this is the one of the important pedagogical model which is working pretty well. I've been using it, so I'm not, as I already mentioned to you, that I'm not going in detail that which one is better. Every teacher has to take their respected pedagogical approaches to do that, whichever the subject they have been teaching. Now, coming to the second important point, there's a big issue about the resources. I think in the beginning also I have told, and I divide again. I'm taking not only in this pandemic time, even after this pandemic or before the pandemic also, I used to say this one. Already resources in digital form are very much available. Please try to understand. Resources in the digital form are always available, and only thing is we should know how to make use of those resources for your classroom teaching. And especially now I'll divide this whatever I have shown here into three important components. One, the digital resources are being available by the ICT resources, ICT initiatives of Government of India. We call it as Swayam, India's first MOOCs platform. Why I've been saying India's first MOOCs platform, and this has been started by the Government of India, not by any private entrepreneurs. Okay, and similarly Swayam Prabha, it is a 32 free DTH channel, world class, top class faculty members are you prepare the material in a video form and even live form, archive forms available. National Digital Library, a huge collection of information is available over there, and they can able to make use of that. And EPG Patshala is again one of the best option which is available for us. So these are all the ICT initiatives the Government of India made for the school education to the higher education. So my first this is the first important competency we need to bring. Where is the material available, what form the material is available, and how do we make use of this material for your classroom teaching? That is first one. You can see the last option, OER, or open educational resources. Resources are available in this form, and yes, we can make use of that OERs. Excellent, top class institutions. You started from the King's College, MIT, Harvard, Oxford, Yale, and you name it. And starting from the east, west, north, south, excellent initiatives are there. OER Africa, OER Asia, OER Malaysia, OER and another part. So what I'm trying to say that they are available. And if you visit my site, you could able to see the huge classification list of facilities. So we can also pitch in there to find out the relevant material which can be used for reading material for my class in this case. The third important component is, yes, you can create and we can create the resources also. Okay, there are and there are many there are simple tools are available. Mobile based video creation tools are available, mobile based content creation tools are available. We can make use of that. So my point in this case is we need not create any resource in the beginning. For example, if you take NROER, National Repository for Open Educational Resources, wonderful initiative of NCERT, one of the premier institution dealing with the school education, curriculum, pedagogical aspects from school level 1 to 12. They have excellently done it. And Government of India started one more initiative called Diksha. And Diksha, that is a single platform for entire the school education, starting from for the students as well as the faculty. My point in this case is, first of all, and we need to make aware as a teacher. And please, again, I'm telling you, because there are the international audiences are also here, I want to make it very clear, the problems we have, these are not the first time we are getting these problems when we start doing it. These problems are already there. But what I'm trying to say, one statement I wish to make, uh, we all join the teaching profession by choice, number one. And number two, you must be a role model. We have been doing it, and everything is not a red carpet. You know that since the pandemic, that the kind of workload has increased to so much. Earlier, I used to be there around 6 hours. Now, more than 12 to 14 hours in a day we are working. I myself working, but still I'm enjoying it. I always say that yes, that such a wonderful opportunity. My academic community, I've been doing it. This is a small piece of thing. So what I'm trying to say, if you go with a positive intent, and definitely the things will start a bit. And there are issues with the other areas. And so the third important aspect which I wish to focus is on the instructional design. Which instructional design could be followed, and what are the issues to be, because I can't go in detail about that. But what is important recently, and Honorable Prime Minister of India, in one of the meeting, in a live interaction, he's been talking about, I think the teachers should encourage the 21st century skills. And the new education policy is again talking about that. So it again, we have been doing it. And what I'm trying to say, that it is the high time that we can also start working and understanding into this aspect in much clearer manner as such. And the next important, so what are those things which I want to say here is communication, collaboration, and team building skills, collaborative working. I just want to say one small thing. I think many of you must have already knowing it. Google, you all must be having a Gmail account. They brought one collaborative working platform called Jamboard, and they brought a one collaborative working platform called Jamboard. I think that is the best platform. Padlet is one of the best collaborative working platform, and people are sitting at different places also, they can work. What I'm trying to say, that such platforms need to be encouraged, because often we talk about how this will be done, and no need of any technology, no, nothing is being. Okay, what is the method which is already, and when you are going to offer an online course, you need not reinvent the wheel, because already there is one instructional design approach has been followed by the Government of India in when one of the courses which is called in Swayam courses, they use the four quadrant approach. The quadrant one is e-tutorial, the quadrant 2 is e-content, the quadrant 3 is assessment, quadrant 4 is discussion forum. So we covered three important competency building among the teachers. Number one is the pedagogical aspect, where I've been pitching for the flipped classroom pedagogy. Number two, for the flipped classroom pedagogy, you required resources. So I have already told you that there are already two resources are available in the form of Swayam Prabha, and other so national digital ICT initiatives you can take, or we can go for OER. And for example, we need to develop the content only in Odia. And so for example, Odia content is not available, Spanish is not available, Japanese is not available, French is not available. What we can do is, using a simple, easy to use tools, we can create the content. So what tools can be used, how to create the content, and how to disseminate the content, these are the competencies. right? And the fourth point which I talked about, the instructional design, that which instructional design is going to be used in this case. Already there is one set example which is there. There's a 4-quadrant approach. So what happened now, you can let me take you to the action plan for building the competencies. First one, continue from where we have stopped. Due to this pandemic, we have several issues are being, so we try to see that from where we had to stop and where we had to move on to that. Second one is provide the reading material and video content. So this is the second important the competency the teacher has to, and the teacher has to build. And whatever you are supposed to do, and the teacher has to work on that. The third important thing is provide OER links. So that means first and foremost thing, we need to provide the orientation about the OER, open educational resources. And you like NROER, as I mentioned for the school education, excellent content is available in many languages. But my unfortunate thing is many few people are knowing it, few people are using it. So but what is important for us, try to make use of it. And tomorrow when you want to create your own content to your own students, your own I think that could be much helpful for you. There is some question the about the PowerPoint presentation. I've been telling you that it's available on my site. If you visit profksrinivas.in, all these things are very much available. There is okay. So what is important for us is there are many initiatives are available which can be done. So these are all the action plans which can be done. Okay, and there is one more big confusion prevails there in many of the students while using this technology for online teaching. So I just want to make it little clear about that part. Um, uh, uh, so so what need to be done in this case? Okay, there is one more point which I just which some of our colleagues are raising. There's a good question saying that content wise there are some issues are there. See, the point is, yes, quality is a relative term, definitely. So my point is, when we come across any such kind of a things, why don't we inform to our the concern, and try to be little over the board, and we'll see that what best can be done. So there are several ways the process can be adopted. Okay, so why I've been trying to say this important queries for the online teaching. I call it as a triangle because on your left hand side there is a hardware requirement. On the right hand side there is a software which is basically enabling software. I'm not talking about any general software. The third side of the triangle is the human wear component. One side hardware, second side is enabling software, third side is the human wear component. Again, I've been telling, technology can only work, and technology could be useful, and only the intent and the competence of the teachers are correct, then only the things can work. And very importantly, attitude also always matters. And we cannot do miracles on a single day, I must tell you, friends. And it all happened. Teaching is a art and teaching is a science. Teaching is both. You need to put a lot of patience and lot of perseverance, because always we say that no, this is not happening. The kind of effort people have been putting behind the screens, always there is a scope for improvement. This is I mean to say that. And you can see the first component in the questions people are asking, what type of hardware exposure is needed. So whatever the basic hardware, for example, if you are using a laptop, you should be thorough with. If you are using a desktop, you should be thorough with. If you are using a mobile phone, you should be thorough. And many a times we must have noticed that people are unmuting their microphones, unmuting their webcams, and they don't know how to mute themselves. These are all these simple competencies of hardware exposure. Now, apart from that, when we are delivering a lecture, for example, I'm just highlighting. I'm using a highlighter which is available with me. It's a software highlighters, and again there are some hardware highlighters are also available. So these things are very much while delivering a lecture, this could be useful, and for delivering the lecture, for recording the information also can be done. The next important, very important point is about the software. So and for the online teaching consisting of two softwares, not one. One is a synchronous platform. You should call it as synchronous environments. Second one is the asynchronous environment. So the synchronous environment is purely meant for like the Zoom platform. There are free open source are available like Jitsi, WebEx, GoToMeeting, Microsoft Teams, or many options are available over here. So what is important is what they do basically, because they will be creating or supporting a classroom like scenario, but it's not everything to be done. Okay, and the second important point which I just want to say is the learning management system. In the learning management system, what happens here, just imagine the scenario in your classroom, and once the class is over, you will be dictating some notes or lecture notes, or you will be giving some reference material so that the student go to the library or a virtual library to refer and to work with the student. So the kind of scenario which is being followed, this learning management systems will work. So the learning management systems, again, Moodle is one free open source learning management system which is being used widely across the world. Around 100 million people are using it. Similarly, Google Classroom, one of the easiest and one of the best and easiest learning management system. Edmondo is there, Canvas is there. There are many. Even our MOOCs platform, the Swayam, the Government of India Swayam MOOCs platform, is again a big learning management system. What it does basically, and they follow certain pedagogical models, and the teacher can upload the reading material over there, and so that the teacher can able to use it. And the second important thing is the content uploading. So it supports the self study mode, and of course it supports the promotes the learners to learn on their pace, space, and time. And then there are many issues are there, collaborative learning, and many things can happen. These are the some of the things. And let me also try. I've been trying to look at the chat boxes while giving a lecture. Also, there is an excellent question that people have been asking: how to help reach technology to the children who are economically and socially challenged. This is 100% a very big concern for all of us. But as a teacher, see, my job is to like our job is to facilitate to the extent possible what is the best way to connect. I must tell you one small example here. And so some of my students, due to the pandemic period, has been moved out of their places, and even to reach them. And we started with the learning management system. We have come up to the different WhatsApp kind of a mode, or many. And second thing is, there are a lot of support is being provided from the government, and there are a lot of philanthropists are supporting it. And it is not a one day solution, but again, they see, when we can provide a good laptop, but there is a one time cost, there is a recurring cost, and there are other things. I think I must tell you, a place on record, friends. Government of India and many state governments, many NGOs, and many philanthropists are doing their best, to support, to reach the technology to the children. But I can't prove all these things over here. Yes, that is being happening over there. And I request those of you writing the comments, kindly write down your questions. Don't give elaborately, because I don't have that much time to do it. So if you briefly said, then I will try to flag on that issues over there. And the other three issues are pertains to the teacher. So the teacher, as I already told you, the teacher is going to play a major role on an entire episode. Even though I am a professor of computer science, I am an advocate of artificial intelligence, but I can tell you, and without the teacher, I think still we have not matured enough to be part of uh, um, be part of the thing which can be done on a regular basis. Okay, there is one of two questions. Let me try to answer that. What are award-winning online faculty perspectives regarding the key competencies of online teaching? See, the logic is pretty simple. First of all, you just follow the 6 instructions which I have given. You must be having a right hardware, you must be having a right software, and having a pedagogical proper pedagogy, and identification of the resources, and teach in a manner. I'm going to come to that thing, and conduct a good assessments kind of a thing, and you will be a role model. First and foremost thing, it is always important for me to speak to the learners first and get convinced. This is what I think one of our colleagues, Supriya, is asking the question. So competencies of online teaching, first and foremost thing, a good subject expertise, absolutely, and even having all the supported and enabling environments. If your subject expertise and communication is not good, if you couldn't able to convince the learners, you cannot. And before convincing the learners, very important point I wish to say, friends, you should convince yourself. Okay, and always don't start with the negative, and let's be thinking in that positive sense, and everything will work. I must tell you one small example here. What kind of practical difficulties we used to face. I visited around 8 months, 9 months back to one of the a famous university for a workshop for 3 days. When I went there, I was told there is no power and the university was shut down. There is a major power breakdown, and and I was told by one of the participant, is again a higher education professor. In a sarcastic mode, he said, "Sir, if there is no power, your PowerPoint will not work." I said, "Gentlemen, I replied to him saying that I completely agree with you about the current, but I'm not young than you. I'm an old man. And I started my career 30 years back when there is no power and there is no PowerPoint." So when he said, "So can we have a class without power and without PowerPoint?" I said, "Why not? Believe me, believe me." And everybody is laughing at that time. And I said, "Fair enough. We don't. And we close all the laptops. Luckily, or fortunately, or unfortunately, there is no power. Believe me, friends, the class went on up to 4 o'clock in the evening. We have a breaks of half an hour for the lunchtime and 10 minutes for the tea time. So one thing I only told them very categorically in the during that during that conversation is, you please focus on what I have been saying. That's all, and it is my responsibility to take you through the class. As simple as that. Okay, and these things, what is important for me is to so good subject expertise, course planning and organization is very important, and verbal and non-verbal presentation skills, and collaborative teamwork, questioning strategies, involving students and coordinating their activities. And apart from that, these are the three or four important things: exposure on resources, how to search the resource, how to create the resource on your own, and how to upload and disseminate the resource. That is a very important point as such. I think, friends, these are all the competencies. Please try to understand that they are mutually inclusive, because they're without one-to-one connectivity, things cannot happen. Even there is a big hue and cry about the conducting of the assessments, and people, whenever I always made a comment saying that MCQ is one of the best formative, even though it is a formative, one of the best method to test the whether the students have learning or not. You know, one of these two, one of the in one of the form, people have been saying that, no, how can you say that? I said, I look, the process is pretty simple. And currently understand the scenario. This is a pandemic situation. Students are at home, you are at home, and you cannot do too many things. So what I'm trying to say, two things. The moment we talk about MCQ, we only talk about the knowledge level questions. Why don't we think about the application level questions? Why don't we think about the critical thinking kind questions? Why don't we think about the analytical kind of a questions? Give priority to only few knowledge level. Go for application, go for critical thinking, go for analytical thinking. And there actually there is no fun of having the negative marking. We don't allow the people to take left, right, and center. So unless and until the student scores, he reads the material, he interact with his fellow friends, and he go through the and he attends your class, then only he could able to answer. Not simply putting A, B, C, D randomly is not solving any purpose as such. Now, why I'm trying to say that to prepare an application level questions requires lot of time, lot of energy, lot of competency. Prepare a critical thinking question, prepare application level question requires lot of time, but it's easy to prepare an application level question. So what I'm trying to say, these are all the options which we can explore it to do the needful. Let me come to this roadmap. What type of a roadmap? Let me reiterate those things once. And which I want to show it on your screen. And so let me make it a little bigger here. So the first approach, it's basically a 6-step process and a roadmap for this. First and foremost thing, as I already mentioned to you, that you need to set up your mind very importantly. And and is first and foremost thing, set up your mind towards the online teaching. Why? Because there are two reasons. You know, always we start with a negative thinking. It works, it may not work. I think many of you who are attending this workshop may not be so much senior like me, but must be having minimum 10 years of teaching experience. Just imagine the day when you joined, and imagine the day, the way, because you must have joined with master's degree, doctorate degree, or a postdoc degree. The institution where you took a postdoc degree, you must be from the wonderful Utkal University. But when we go there and you teach in a college where things are not available, communication is a issue, and many other. So we have improvised. See what happens in teaching. I need not reiterate again because I'm answering some of the questions in general sense. We always try to imitate our senior teachers, and we try to imitate the kind of environment we got trained. But slowly and steadily, depends on the local situation, we improvise. For the imitation to the improvisation, there is something called creativity. And of course there is a technology is also available there. And many of the things, as I told you, that whatever I have been talking about here is my day-to-day process. I'm not saying that this is an ideal conditions. This is what I have been doing with my own students, and will get. So what is important in this case, in this tense, is and like for example, there is a question people have been asking: how to provide technological help to the tribal area students who have been using Odia language in their writing. Of course, the process is pretty simple. You create your own content in Odia itself, like how I've been speaking in English. That's all. So you start creating, you start putting. There are simple tools are available. I request you to kindly check the site, because this is a talk which I was supposed to conclude in next 5 minutes. I think if you visit my site, there are so many options are available. The second important step which you need to make a make broad basic decisions with pertains to the mode of sessions, asynchronous and synchronous. That is very important. And why should we make a call? Because some of our students are in far-flung areas. They may not be having the internet connectivity. But I can tell you one thing, friends. Government of India and with the support of the state governments doing their best under digital education program to provide the bandwidth connectivity, and this is a vast country. This is 135 million people, and one thing, please try to understand. Yes, things have been happening, and of course everybody wants that it should happen much faster pace, but every times what happened, things are being happening. And one such initiative which government of India started is the new education policy, a path breaking thing which every one of us has. Now again, you must have heard about what the honorable prime minister has said. It cannot be imposed. We had to take the operationalized strategies. Okay, I'm a teacher teaching in a school, I'm a teacher teaching in a college, I'm a teacher teaching in a university. So what are the things, what how we can look at the perspectives of that educational policy so that we can take a benefit out of it. Okay, coming to the step three is about the identification of the learning management system, and the last two important things are very important, is about addressing the issues and challenges. Don't lose the heart. Every time you said no, this is not working, have you seen that whether it is working outside? You know how these sessions are being happening, sitting over here. You know, everything is an effort. It's not happening on a red carpet kind of a thing. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, that if you have that confidence, if you build up the competencies, and if you can create your own environment, you could be a role model. Somebody is asking me a question that, sir, what was the award winning? So everything is an award. Teaching is, no, everyone cannot be a teacher just like that. Not reading a PowerPoint presentation is not teaching. Not reading from the textbook is not teaching. What I'm trying to say, that you should talk about your experiences, you should motivate, you should encourage, and you should try to tell our students that, look, this is the way, and always try to engage your learners. That is very, very, very important. Engagement of the learners is a very important component of that. Okay, let me move on to the next part of it. So there is a checklist is also available, and best practices. Often people used to ask me, and when you got an award of a best teacher, they are looking at certain parameters. Similarly, in online education also, there are certain parameters are there. Okay, and this checklist is available over there. It is all is available on my site. If you visit profksrinivas.in, it's my learning management system, and where it's my learning portal, and you have very good information which is useful for you to doing. Let me show some of the such initiatives, ICT initiatives government of India and other state governments have done. This is Andhra Pradesh, is a provincial state and in India, and they have come up with a wonderful, and again it's available in Telugu. I think those who could able to read in Telugu and can able to do that. This is what one of the question that Aruna is asking me. I think you can also do the same thing. We trained them 4 years back. Now it is coming up the process over here, and I request. I'm not saying that the language component of it. I request you to kindly go through this and you see what how nicely they have prepared the presentations. And Swayam, you all know very well, Government of India initiative. Swayam Prabha, an excellent platform, free channels, downloadable, and this can be used in much effective manner. And National Digital Library, and one of the best ICT facilities the nation has provided for all of us, both teachers, students, all stakeholders. You can have material from law to the literature, management to the humanities, sciences to the engineering, and of course all sort of things are very much available over there. And something called EPG Pathshala, this is again one of a best platform which is available and for us, and very good courses, course contents, video material, text material, assessments are available. I think you can make use of these things for your own classroom teaching. And for those who are working in the school education, NROER, and yes, I think somebody's expressed that the quality, other thing, and it is our system. I'm not saying that let's try to work out that one, and we'll see that what best. But I can tell you one of the wonderful facility which has been provided by the government of India for the school education. Similarly, IIT Bombay spoken tutorial. Again, we are, many of you must be using it. Such a wonderful initiative, ICT initiative. You can FOSSI is again a initiative of government of India. Sakshat is again one. Virtual labs, and in this, during this pandemic period, and people sitting at their places, people sitting engineering, especially this is being worked out very well. Engineering faculty sitting over there, and they could able to access, like IIT Kharagpur is providing this. IIT Hyderabad is correcting this. Amrita University in southern part of India is connecting this. Or there are many initiatives are there. Even the app is also available for this point of thing. And OER Commons, I already told you that again, an excellent OER initiatives are very much available over there, and which we can make use of that. And apart from that, let me just take you for a minute. What are the other competencies? There are some list of softwares and mobile apps I have mentioned in my site. I request you to kindly go through that, and they are very easy, and you can create your own material. And again, I must tell you one thing. When you born, you not speak such a eloquent Odia, eloquent the English, whatever the language. Everything is an improvement. Always don't think that what others will say. You always try to impress yourself first, and you could be a best teacher. And everyone is a diamond. Everyone cannot be a teacher. You please understand by this time. So always be positive, be comfortable. Like wonderful softwares are available. I think you should try to make use of these softwares and mobile apps. And very simple, easy to use. And there are many, but I have noted down few of them in my system. And there are other two competencies. I'll say that, then I will stop my lecture. About the cloud storage options, whether it's a Google Drive, whether it's a OneDrive, whether it's a Dropbox. And my important request to all of you is kindly make use of these things in a manner, so that आपको करने में आसानी हो जाएगा. Whether it's a folder creation, file uploading, very importantly, collaborative working, collaborative learning, and we can how the content can be disseminated, how the safety and security of the data can be ensured. All these things are the competencies. And the last one which I want to say is the YouTube, and how do we search the content, how do we filter the content, whatever the video we have created, how do we upload it, what licenses can be selected. Do we enable the comments? Because of course comments are good, but at the same time, when I am in this in initial position, and we want more and more support is required. And it is easy to say that this is not good, that is not good, but unless, and it is the human nature, definitely I completely agree. But what is important is, it is easy, try to support it. And such a pandemic situation we never come across the world, especially in India. So what is important for me is to see that how best this process can be done. Let me sum up to say a few important words here as such here. So in the teaching learning process, first and foremost thing, every institution must have a prepare a policy document. What can be done, what is the and always, because I come from a planning institute, always there should be a plan. Suddenly if something will come, and how do we able to. Second point is, we need to develop the institutional website. It is a cost effective, friends. The website which I've showed you earlier, professor K. Srinivas.in, and I have not spent a single rupee on that. It is working. Moodle, Moodle is a learning management system, a free open source learning management system where I can provide the reading material to my students well in advance. And number two, I can provide a collaborative working, like a WhatsApp chatting. They could able to do it, and I can conduct the assessment. And very importantly, entire process is trackable, every step of the students, and but whatever I, both myself and my students are accountable. The entire process is transparent. And very importantly, Moodle is not a tool based software, and Moodle was developed with keeping the learning as a central. It is a free open source. If you just visit genomio.com, and you can register for a free site, and there are some videos are available in my site. You can able to make use of it. I think, friends, I already overshooted my time. I will stop here. And uh, Jagannath, I think, I hope I have not taken much of other time.
No,
Of
not
course,
at all,
there are
sir.
many more questions people have been asking, but I'll stop here. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I try to answer some of the questions which people have been raised over there. Because of the constraint of the time, I just confined myself here. But to sum up, I just want to say technology is an enabler, technology is a facilitator, but the human being, the teacher, is far superior than the technology. Number one. And the effectiveness of the technology is directly proportional to the competence and the intent of the user. That is the last statement which I want to make. I can stop here. Yes, Jagannath?
Yes, sir. Uh, Thank you very much, sir. It's an honor to listen to you, sir. Exactly, you have highlighted many aspects, and you have started with a beautiful quote that technology is not a panacea for every teaching, learning issues, problems, and challenges, but it can be like an antibiotic. That means the dose matters a lot. And one more thing you have highlighted, through technology, the teacher can be engaged, or can be, encourage the students to a large extent. One more thing you have highlighted, sir, regarding the Alvin Toffler, that learn, unlearn, and relearn also. And one more thing you have highlighted, flipped classroom, that is regarding the pedagogy first, so that the learner will be attracted towards inquiry and application. And also you have highlighted many aspects of online teaching, like National Digital Library, e-Pathshala, Swayam Prabha, Swayam, and open educational resources, sir. And also you have highlighted the action plan, which may helpful for developing competencies, sir. And also you have highlighted the different skills. And I think our listeners, our means many participants who are teachers from India and abroad, definitely will imply these things in their teaching learning system. Thank you very much, sir. It's really a great honor
Thank you.
for us, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very
And
much.
sir, one request,
Yeah.
sir. Towards the last session, we'll have a question answer session. You please, sir, join, sir.
What time it
I
will
think,
start?
I think, sir, it's a 11:35, sir.
Yeah, 11:35. I will join back. I'll join back.
Okay, sir. Thank you very
Okay.
much, sir. Thank
Sure.
you
Sure.
very much, sir.
Thank
Done.
you. Thank you.
Done.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
So now with us, Dr. Macario Zigaita from University of Professor and Researcher, University of East Colocan, Manila, the Philippines. And I welcome you, sir, to this platform. And it's a great pleasure to listen to you, sir. I'll not waste much of the time, and I am directly coming to you, sir. It's over to you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay, good afternoon from the Philippines. I thought I will speak at 3 in the afternoon. But then since the program has been started, so I will start my presentation I have here, I want the participants to listen. I have here a very emotional letter from the Yale University in the US. And it says about the teachers who's been into the interrupted education right now. We're in learning into social emotional learning activities in the COVID-19 pandemic. So, dear educators, there was a life before COVID-19 and there will be a life after. We didn't choose to have a social, have our schools and colleagues closed. Our carefully constructed routines halted in their tracks. Our field trips, the different concerts, sporting events, fundraising, and finals has been canceled. We didn't expect this and had a little warning. We weren't ready for this either, or were we? At this very moment, there are so many questions swirling through our own heads and the education ecosystems across the globe. What impact will this have on student learning and families and economy? And now, in the long term, how will we support our students who rely on the school for meals for the stability of the classroom provides? How will our students without access to computers technology continue to learn? What will be this to do in our school and campus communities? How will this impact on our school fundraising activities? And then there's the uncertainty around when teachers and students will be allowed to return to school. And what school be like then when we do? Our media feeds are very inundated with anecdotes of our nation's parents jumping on their homeschooling and digital learning bandwagons. They are the mercy of the information available to them and the technological tools their children and household may have access. Different districts and colleges across the nation are requiring educators to provide plans and digital resources despite their varied levels of knowledge about and support for which instructional technologies are most effective from whom, how, and under the conditions. All of this is rapidly evolving with finish line and get pushed back daily. So, participants in the international workshop in India, in the Rural Institute of Higher Education in Odisha, India, this is not a snow, it is not a holiday break. And I felt it, it's a crisis. Sincerely yours, the Yale University Center of Emotional Intelligence. So this emotional intelligence is very, very important because this is what we call the social and emotional learning, where we call it CEL. This is an evidence that based on practices to help us now and let us support us when eventually return to school. Social and emotional learning or CEL is for everyone. It's especially critical for students with the greatest needs. It's the ones who were severely impacted by the psycho-social and fiscal effect of this pandemic, but it's also for teachers and students in the most well-resourced districts in different institutions. This crisis about COVID-19 is leaving indelible footprint on the hearts and the minds of multiple generations of our children and adults, even our youngest ones who are not yet old enough to realize it. The impact of ripple effects across our collective livelihood is likely to vast and to comprehend. So for this, it's scary, but it's not hopeless. Now is when we need to apply everything what we have learned about the social emotional learning, recognizing our emotions, and leveraging the science of cell is more important than ever. Social emotional learning skills are real events or real skills that can be support in managing the roller coaster emotion that we have having in the coming days and months. So for many of us, it's dealing with the daily uncertainty and new ways of interacting socially. So I have here my presentation. So please wait for it. So my presentation is about the transforming teaching and learning through technology in gaming in the new normal Philippines. I'm gonna share it with you. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. So here it is now. Okay. So as what I've said, so my topic is about transforming teaching and learning through technology and gaming in the new normal Philippines. So I'm very thankful to the international workshop organized by the Department of Education and the Rural Institute of Higher Education in Bongre, Odisha, India, which is affiliated to FM University this very day on September 20th, 2020. Now, so my presentation is that the crisis around COVID-19 is leaving an indelible footprint on the hearts and the minds of the generation of children and adults. The impact and ripple, as what I've mentioned a while ago, that the COVID-19 is really effect across our collective livelihood is likely to vast to comprehend. And as what I've said, the COVID-19 is a little bit scary, but we don't need to lose hope because time will come that the pandemic will end up. So to move on, so based from my research that COVID-19 has resulted in different schools shut across the world. So there are approximately 1.3 billion has been affected with the closure or lockdown of the schools, but are still affected by the different schools and university as educational institutions start reopening around the world according to UNESCO. So education has changed. It changed dramatically with a distinctive rise of e-learning whereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. So in case of the Philippines, so education actually changed, but in our case in the Philippines, education is not changing at all because despite of what we have experienced right now in the COVID-19 pandemic or COVID-19 outbreak, here in the Philippines, specifically in my institution, in the University of the East in Caloocan and Lyceum of the Philippines University in Batangas, if there is, for example, a catastrophe, if there's, for example, a storm, if there's, for example, floods, if there's, for example, other catastrophe. So basically, we get back into our Canvas LMS or Canvas Learning Management System if there's, for example, catastrophe. So even though the education changed dramatically around the world, but in the case of the Philippines, it is not surprise for us because we have already using the Canvas LMS, whether it is dry season and whether it is rainy season, whether there is an interruption, for example, of the different public holidays in the Philippines. And then on the digital platforms that the only change that has had happened in the Philippines that there are many teachers who really rely on the face-to-face interaction between students and teachers. But because of the pandemic, uh, the um, the Philippine government decided to put a lockdown on the different private and public schools or state universities in the Philippines starting last March 18, 2020. So it's almost 6 months that uh, we are not allowed to visit or we are not allowed to go to school. But in my case, I can visit my university provided provided that I will send an email to one of my superior, and then I will ask her for me to. I'll ask her to um, give me a permission. Example of that is the quarantine pass, because in the Philippines we're very strict when it comes to health protocols. We need to have this one. This is actually is very important to us. This is a face mask. We're always using it, whether, for example, we are in home. I'm not using it right now because I'm in front of the camera, and I'm delivering a lecture in the international workshop. Also in the Philippines, if you've noticed that, for example, when you go around, for example, if you wanted to visit your school, provided you have quarantine pass, you need to have this. You need to have a face shield. That's very important. It's one of the health protocols that if you don't have the face mask, if you don't have the face shield, you will face consequence. You will the government will put you in jail, and it is a criminal act for a person not to wear mask, not to wear the face shield, in not and then it's very important that to have this one. This is what we call a community quarantine pass for you to go outside and buy food or basic necessities. So that's very important. In the digital platforms, so our classes in the Philippines started from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for MWF. So that is 1 hour class, and it does not change. Even in the face-to-face, or what we call the synchronous learning, we are consuming 1 hour per session. And then for the Tuesday and Thursday, we are consuming 1.5 hours in the face-to-face and even in the digital platforms. So on the next slide, excuse me, my slide is not functioning. Okay, so now let's proceed to what's happening to us right now. What's happening as teachers? Uh, there is a demand of supporting teachers. In the Philippines, we have had this financial support aside from the government. There's a financial support to those teachers. For example, if you are teaching in a private school, there's an amount of money that the government will share it with the teachers. And right now, almost 50% of the surveyed education system across all income levels are providing additional in-service training to prepare for the distance teaching. In the case of our university, we prepared ourselves since 2017. So there's a massive training for the faculty in the University of the East and the Lyceum of the Philippines University of Batangas. And we're being trained on the how to use and how to operate and how to make um, a 54 hours lecture by means of making modules online. So while teachers are receiving additional support and training, their psychosocial health and well-being seems to be less attended to. Yes, that's one of the biggest problem of the different teachers right now, even even on the different parts of the world. We are teaching online. We're using the different online platforms, but our schools, our universities are not giving us a support actually. By this, as what I've mentioned a while ago about the cell, the social emotional learning. Because if you are confined in the four corners of your home, if you are not going around, so there is something that add to our psychosocial health. And this social health must be addressed to the different schools, institutions, specifically if you have the department or if you have, for example, the Department of Guidance in Counseling. So that's a very important support to our teachers. That's very, very important in this time of COVID pandemic. So the COVID-19 pandemic has changed education forever. Yes, it changed gradually, not only in the Philippines, not only in India, not only in the US, not only in Europe, not only in Oceania, not only in Southeast Asia, not only in South Asia, but in the entire world.
Sir, it's not audible, sir. Hello. Hello, sir. It's not audible. Hello, sir. It's not audible, sir. Professor Guide. Professor Guide. It's not audible, sir. So there is a technical issue. Professor Guide is connecting. 1 second, please bear with us. Professor Guide is connecting. Please bear with us. Yes, sir. It's audible, sir. Hello. Sir, please unmute, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Okay, so now I'm muted. Sorry for the interruption.
Sir. Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Yes, yes. So my PowerPoint is visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Okay. So for the listeners, sorry for the interruption. So I will repeat it now. Through the different guidance services, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed education forever. Okay, so only 1/4 of the respondents reported they are providing psychosocial support to teachers such as counseling. Uh, since you are now engaged in the digital platforms of teaching and learning our students, so holding a class. Have you ever experienced holding a class on Zoom, or we call it Zoom bombing? So Zoom bombing is very, very important. I don't know if you experience it uh, in your school. Like for example, please be careful when the screen was suddenly flooded by pictures of pornographic images and racial slurs. Because in this time of pandemic, in our university, through the Canvas learning management system, there are different online platforms. So on Canvas LMS, there is the Zoom, there is the Microsoft 365, there is also the Google Meet or Meet Google, and WebEx and other social media platforms. But using I'm very, very careful in using Zoom because of this. It's very alarming that um, I don't know if you're experiencing this, that sometimes just be careful if your screen will be flooded by the different pictures. So as the moderator of Zoom, please turn off the video instantly. But to no avail that, for example, if you are in the height of your discussion and then here comes now the Zoom bombing. The Zoom bombing is an internet trolling of video conferencing involving somebody who takes over the audio and video control to broadcast inappropriate materials and remarks. So this is very alarming. Please be careful using the Zoom because in using the Zoom, for example, if it is, for example, your prepared platform for your students, but make sure that you know how to handle Zoom. It entails an unsavory character, so find Zoom link shared on public channels. Like, for example, if you're sharing the Zoom on Twitter, if you are, for example, sharing it on LinkedIn, if you're sharing this, for example, on Lark Suit, if you're using Lark, and then if you're using, for example, the WhatsApp, if you're using Pinterest or any other social media platforms, because it accesses a meeting that does not require a password. For example, like this, I was thankful to Rural Institute of Higher Institution because they provide the password for this Zoom International workshop. Because screen sharing and file transfer privileges in meeting organizer is not restricted in the Zoom. So please be careful. So to move on, so please be careful in Zoom bombing because right now, specifically if you that we are in the South Asia or we are in the Southeast Asia, so Zoom bombing is really this is prevalent in our country. To move on with my discussion, so there's a trolling happening right now. I'm sorry, there's a technical problem. Okay, so the next slide is all about posting your class online. So please be careful. Do not post screenshots on your online class online. Please be careful. If you intend to post your class online, make sure that you need to blur their faces. And of course, do not ever mention their names. The very nature of the video communication platforms presents some risk and the data leakage that could potentially violate the school obligation on what we call the data privacy law or any other student privacy laws. So if there is the Data Privacy Act in a country, please be careful. In the Philippines, we have the Data Privacy Act of 2012, and because of this act, we're very careful of posting pictures, specifically on Facebook, because everybody could access on Facebook, and then, for example, on Twitter, and then on LinkedIn, and WhatsApp, and then on Snapchat, and other social media platforms. So some enthusiastic teachers and parents are very eager to show off their Zoom classes online who have unwittingly violated student privacy rules. So for teachers, do not ever post any information about your students, specifically the grades, the graduation pictures of your students, and other pertinent information. Because, for example, if the student uh, have already I mean, if the student doesn't have any permit, or even, for example, if the student, for example, get an honor from the respective school, do not post their picture if they aren't allow you to post it, because the student can sue the school, can sue the teacher, or any other administrators in your specific institution because of posting and because of the Data Privacy Act. Because, sharing the screen captures online is a very horrible idea that violates a lot of the social media policy. So Data Privacy Act is very, very important. The blunder is not required of video conferencing tools. Educators have posted identifiable pictures or images of students on social media in the past. In our university, we're very careful about this Data Privacy Act because, if you go online, you do not know who are your audience, and it's very important for you to lock your profile, and it's very important for you to go to the privacy settings, for example, in your Facebook, or for example, on Twitter, or any other digital platforms or social media platforms. So please be careful on Data Privacy Act. So now, the Yale University, the Department of Emotional Intelligence released this very, very important policy on the social emotional learning, and they called it ruler. So meaning, uh, following the Yale University Emotion Intelligence use, the power of emotions create a very healthier, more equitable production or productive and compassionate society today and for the future generations. The approach is social emotional learning, or CEL, that provides tools for resources grounded in the theory of emotional intelligence to promote the psychosocial health and well-being of the students or educators and the different students and parents. The ruler, or RULER, stands for R, recognizing emotions in self and others. The letter U, understanding the causes and consequences of emotions and labeling emotions accurately. Letter E stands for expressing emotions appropriately. And letter R, regulating emotions effectively. So if you want to have this social emotional learning, just go to Google and find the Yale University Emotional Intelligence. So these skills can help us navigate this uncharted territory in a socially distanced world and do our part to control the imprint leaves on the mental health and well-being of our students and the school communities as well. Now, I have here my study. It's about the level of online disruption, the status of online learning, and how to cope up with mechanism among education, tourism, hospitality, and marketing management in the new normal Philippines. So my study was designed to administer the level of online disruption, the status of online learning and coping mechanism of education, tourism, hospitality, and management scholars in one Asian university, including the education. So this study tracked out to find out the level of online disruption, the status of online learning, which is brought on the excessive usage of gadgets like mobile phone, the importance of using gadgets inside the synchronous environment, as stated by university scholars in coping mechanism, found whether if there is a statistical relationship among level of online disrupted education and status of online learning in the participants when it is grouped statistically according to the demographics. So this study is actually being, conducted right now. Okay, so to move on, the findings confirm that participants in the study spent an average ranging from 5 to 6 hours a day using the gadgets for synchronous, asynchronous, and flexible learning. The participants use the gadgets for uploading and downloading videos, listening to all favorite music while traveling, TikToking, and video blogging. Participants are also into gadgets, connecting with close friends, relatives, and parents, as common to Philippine education, tourism, hospitality, and marketing management through different online platforms such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, WeChat, TikTok, YouTube channel, and other online shopping channels. And then finally, the demographics of the participants, such as gender, department, or respective college, and precautionary standing in the community level, posited, if not substantial comportment of the level of disruptive, asynchronous and synchronous level of instruction of the university students. Conclusion and recommendations are also included in the study. Now, let us now proceed on the game-based learning. The game-based learning is very, very important in this disrupted education. So games fulfill core psychological needs. And of course, good games improve academic performance. Games make okay to fail. So there are different games make up to make it more social. And of course, games can create a very, very meaningful experience. So in the game learning, there is a website, what we call the Cashcraft, because the Cashcraft is very important and we can learn more for teachers to level up your teaching engage students through the power of play. For schools and district, build better school climate with an award-winning data, which is being powered by administrative solution. So you need to visit your blog if you are into blogging for practical advice and resources to create meaningful classroom experiences. And then read academic research about how games are making a positive difference in the classroom. So it's up to you to decide what game website for game learning you're going to use. So thank you and namaste.
So it's a great thanks to you, sir. With your busy schedule, you have spent some valuable time for us, and definitely you have highlighted many aspects, and that will be helpful for our participants and our learning communities. And most importantly, you have highlighted the fact that Zoom bombing that will be very alarming, and you have highlighted
Yes.
many aspects of alarming things.
Some farming.
Yeah. And one more thing, you have very interestingly highlighted about ruler. That means recognize, understanding,
Yes.
labeling, and then expressing regulation, emotional regulation is a great aspect in online classroom or virtual classroom. Though I have worked on that self-regulation and emotional regulation is the most important aspect while we are conducting the virtual classroom and online classroom. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. It's a great honor to listen to you, sir. So please, sir, I have a request that towards the last session, we had a question answer session. Please be with us, sir. So we'll have a discussion. We have noted down some questions from participants. We'll be discussing towards the last, sir. It's a request, sir. Professor Gaita.
I have a class after this. I have an online class, even if it's Sunday.
Okay, sir. But please try to connect with us for the question and answer session. We have got so many questions, sir. To you. Okay, sir. So it will be a great honor for us, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So now it's the time to connect our next speaker, Dr. S. Rajkumar, sir, from assistant professor from Tamil Nadu. So directly over to you, sir. Rajkumar, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So, my PPT is visible, sir?
Yeah, sir. It will be visible.
Thank you. My voice is audible?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Let I start my sessions with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam quote. If you fail, never give up, because fail means first attempt in learning. And N, it's not a N. In fact, N means effort never dies. If you get no as answer, remember, no means next opportunity. So let's wait and be positive. And when a teacher asks some questions, this is the student reactions and this is the teacher reaction. Just it's for a fun. And when the teacher asks assignments, it's student's reaction. And students' reactions at parents teachers meeting. And before the quarantine, government declared a holiday while enjoying the students, and not only the students, and sometimes some faculties also enjoying the holiday. And this is the quarantine days, me and quarantine days, and Corona behindly attacked to me. And this is the waiting for college openings. So these are the things just fun for that. And today I'm going to demonstrate two important tools. That is the very important online tools. That is effective tools. It is highly useful for the learning community as well as students and teachers. And that is the infographics. So infographics, it's nothing but it is an informations plus graphics. Usually an infographics are basically artistic representation of data and informations using different elements such as graphs, pictures, diagrams, narratives, and timelines, checklists, etc. And actually,
sir, your screen is not visible.
Sir, it is visible. It is visible.
Not visible. It is not visible.
So I'm requesting Professor Gaita, sir, please stop sharing your screen, sir, so that the next Professor Gaita, please sir, stop sharing your slides, sir.
No, it is visible.
And now it's visible.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you. Yeah, thank you. Actually, the infographics is largely exploded in a popularity in a virtually in a every industry, from the marketing to schools. So from the digital marketing to schools, classrooms, and infographics are being useful in everywhere, communicating complex informations in a visually engaging a way. So for the purpose, if we are creating this kind of infographics for our teaching learning purpose, it's definitely give a good experience and good achievements for, among the teachers and learners. And some use of infographics. Infographics, it is great for making a complex informations easy to digest, because of we can quick overview of a topic. We can split into a many topic, many half portions or full portions. Like that, we can split into a many half portions in our infographics. It's create a more easy way to understanding some complex subject. And it can be useful for entire research findings because of our research containing 5 chapters. We can overview the entire research topic by using this kind of infographics. And not only for that, and it is a summarizing a complex process or report for that, and we can compare. We can use this kind of infographics for compare and contrast in multiple options. We can compare two more products or two more personalities. We can compare their product characteristics and qualities as well, etc. And next one is the rise awareness about an issues or causes. So in this kind of infographics, which is helpful for creating awareness among the public. So now we are in a pandemic period. So many countries have used this kind of infographics for creating awareness for the corona. So the people should mind infographics. The ultimate aim and ultimate goal of infographics is not only conveying the information, as well as it should be create some attentions and fun among the learners. So it is a fun and engaging and super easy to share and understanding the content. In the infographics, mainly three industries used for that. And first one is educators and trainers, and second one is marketers, and third one is non-profits. So educators and trainers, they have used the infographics for their teaching and learning purposes, and marketers, they can infographics drive more website traffics and increase the visibility and brand awareness and boost the engagement. For the purpose, they promoting their brands and the products. And non-profits, this kind of infographic and spread awareness about cause and social issues. The mostly the infographics, this non-profit infographics is highly used for environmental protected agencies and some mostly in the pandemic period and some crisis timing, they can used for this kind of infographics for creating some awareness for that. This is the example for education and train education and training infographics. So it is the term atrial fibrillation. So it's containing some informations with graphical representations and some data. So combined together, it gives educational oriented infographics. And next one is marketed oriented infographics. They are promoting their brands by using this kind of infographics. And next one is corona awareness infographics. So many country has used this kind of infographics for that. And it is the type of infographics. The type of infographics, the first one is the statistical infographics. The statistical infographics make use of typographical chart and graphs to present a research and facts and figures in a visual way. This helps to make data look more interesting and easier to digest than a bunch plain number of tables. And this is the example of global penetration of a social platform. Here, these are the age group. These are the four social platforms. This much of percentage of people are using this social platform. So for the purpose, we are using this kind of infographics, statistical infographics, and the statistical infographic can either focus on a single research or data visualization or use of mixed different visualization to present various facts and figure findings and about the topic. And this is the informational infographics. This informational infographics use a mix of text and visual combines and element, and it creates some simplifying the topic, and it's guide research to through the series steps. And sometimes the information is not necessary because this kind of picture is give great meaningful representations particular topic. And this is the process infographics. Sometimes our content have some steps and process. So while if we are using this kind of process oriented infographics, it's created some clear steps from step by steps 1 2 3 4 5 for For the purpose, if we are using this kind of infographics for our teaching learning process, definitely the students get more benefited and easy way to understanding the particular concepts. And next one is timeline infographics. The timeline infographics are very useful presenting information. Uh, Here, the chronological order is available when it's origin, what are the character, what are the output. Those things we can create it by using this timeline infographics. If we want to purchase any kind of any brand of mobile or computer, whilst we are searching the origin, how much percentage of products they are produced during this year, what are the qualities. For the purpose, if we mention those things, if we use this timeline infographics, it's definitely give a brief explanations about the product, about the brand, about the company, or about the content. And this is the anatomical infographics, and looking breakdown into your different parts of the product. So here some wheat bread and some chicken, lettuce and cheese. These are the things, these are the components. We can explain this part by part, internal part of the product. By using this anatomical infographics is highly better for better time, better template for teaching something. So these anatomical infographics is highly used in the field of medical sciences and zoology and engineering, mechanical engineering science. Because of this mechanical engineering containing so many machines and internal parts, integral parts. If we use this kind of infographics, it's give a great pleasant learning among the learners. And next one is hierarchical infographic. So in our content, having some level by level explanations while we are using this kind of infographics is much better for that. And next one is comparison infographics. This comparison infographics, here we can compare two more products or multiple objects or multiple peoples and products and peoples, and visually comparing the ideas can help and illustrate the particular similarities and differences. Here mentioned two different products, and these are the characteristics. So if we use this kind of infographics, it's get a good experience for teachers and students. And next one is these are the example for comparisons. Here mentioned four different banks, and these are the characters. These are the things availability and non-availability of the characters. So if we watch this kind of infographics, we can easily understand about the particular characteristics of bank. And next one is location-based infographics. If you want to focus of geographical informations and in a visual form, it is location-based or map. It is a great option for using location-based infographics. And next one is visual resume infographics. Nowadays, the employer has received more than 100 and 1,000 resumes in a single post. So if you want to step in some forward, definitely if we go with a visual infographics, definitely we can get a chance, an opportunity, get a job in a particular organization. And so I'm going to demonstrate on an important online tool, that is the PictoChart. So it is a free online tool. We can freely sign in, and we will see about that. And just go to Google Chrome and type PictoChart, and it shows that, and click PictoChart. It has signing free. It is a signing free account. You can sign up here, and or you can log in with your Google account or Facebook account. If you're not having any Google account and Facebook account, you can fill up the required information, and finally here it's asks create my account. Just click create my account. You can create a new account. Otherwise, you can log in with your email ID and password. And after login your PictoChart, it asks what purpose of PictoChart. It asks marketing oriented or education oriented. You can go with education oriented, and it is the page of PictoChart, and just go to create new, and it shows like that. So in this infographics, it's not only for the infographics. So in the PictoChart, we can create infographics presentations and posters and reports, flyers and social media, etc. And I'm going to select the infographics. So next page is like that. So it's having some free templates. Go to the free templates if you subscribe for the free account. Otherwise, you can go with a blank template. If you choose already existing template, just click the template and it shows like that. So use template and preview. You can then click use template button. Otherwise, you can go with your start from blank infographical page. Yeah, so this is the PictoChart canvas. You can edit your selected template here and tools to start to select it. Actually, these are the main important tools in the PictoCharts. These are the things available in the PictoCharts, and just click the graphics. It's containing 5 components. One is shapes, icons, illustrations, line, photos, and photo frames. And go to the graphics, select insert graphics in your infographic. And here it is A2 is at agriculture and some other things are available. A2 is at agriculture, animals, RO, and banners. So many things are available. I will demonstrate it. I will explain about in the demonstration. And next one is lines, which is used for a breakup any 2 components, any 2 contents. And next one is photos. Photos, we can insert some photos. And next one is a photo frame. These are the things available in the graphics mode. And next one is so go to the we can change the background color also. We can go to the background tool, then select the background color and our image as you like. We can drag the image into the infographical page, and after that we can edit the particular area of the infographical page. And next one is the photo frame. Here already existing photo frames are available. If we drag or select some photo frames like that, so we can fix it here. And after that, we can insert in the particular area photo frame that will be converted as your photo. And next one is design components. So in this design components is further divided into 3 portions. One is first one is list. So it's having some templates. If you want to your content based explanations, some steps, if you use this kind of templates for your teaching purpose, and not only for this, and here more than 50 templates is available. So based on your content, you can prepare the templates for your teaching purpose. And next one is timeline templates. And already I explained about the timeline templates, of purpose of timeline templates. And next one is comparison templates. So that is also I explained previously. So we can compare 4 products or 4 personality here. For the purpose, we can prepare these kind of templates in the design components. And next one is upload. So already we can change the text frame and we can change the background of the design. And while we need to upload some picture or some other images or some other background, so for the purpose, just click upload options and go to the browse, and we can upload it from our computer, and after that drag the image into the infographical page, and we can move anywhere in the infographical page. So this is the background changing. Here some templates, background templates, existed templates is that. So based on the color, based on the requirement, you can change the background of the templates. And next one is definitely if we insert some already existing templates, while we should edit some already existing templates, while definitely we go to text tool. So go to the text tools and select the type of text. Here 5 types of text is available. First one is title to body of the text. So based on your needs, we can prefer this kind of text. And next one is some text frame, and some text frames also is there. That is also containing some 4 or 5 lines. It can be used to we can edit these 4 or 5 lines also, and we can increase the size of the text frame also. And next tool is tools that containing 3 parts. One is chart, maps, and videos. Select and if you want to go with graphs, maps, just click map option. So it's open like that. You can edit the setting of the map, and you can you have been selected here, and then insert the map. It is automatically appear in the infographical page. And next one is you can edit, and we can change the color of any part of the map. And after that, update your map and click insert, and it is also appear in the infographical page. And if you want to insert some graphs and graphical representations based on your data, you can click chart option to insert a graph and chart tools, and search the type of graph here. And it's containing here you can mention the title of the chart, and it's having so many types of chart. So you can we can insert the chart tool and select the chart type, and here some Excel sheet format like that is there available, and we can edit the data of the chart here. Otherwise, we can here the tool, here the key, import your data. So all if you type some data in your Excel sheet, you can also import your data from here. And at the end, just click the insert chart. It's automatically appear in the infographical page. And next one is a video format. So if you want to insert some video in your infographical page, just click video options, and it shows like that. It has some video URL to paste the video URL from the YouTube or Google Drive, and just click insert options. That video will enter into the infographical page. And some basic tools are available, and if we make some mistakes, don't bother about, because we can have redo and undo tools. And here lock options also available. If you want to lock the title, after clicking the lock button, it's after that we can never change the place of the that particular text. And the opacity, we can increase the darkness and boldness of text and pictures and graphs and maps, etc. And text to font, so many fonts are available. We can change the font also. Here the font size, these are the common things is available in the Microsoft Word also. And here's some tools like this that are available. We can you click this tool, it has 4 options. We can insert a picture, bring to front and send to back, and bring forward and send backward. For the purpose we are using this tool. And next one is saved option. So we can save our infographic, what we can made for our teaching learning purpose. After preparing the infographic, just click the save button. It is saved in the our PictoChart cloud. And also we can preview the infographic also. And after that, download. If you go with the download, it asks some format. You can download the PictoChart you have created as an image format, PNG format, as well as PDF format. So here shows some level up. And if you want to go with better output, definitely you need to pay some amount for that. Otherwise, we can share our link and we can get infographics in a PNG format. Actually, it is a linear, narrow infographics we can get as downloaded as a PNG format. And next one is save options. To share option. To share the PictoChart, click the share menu. It asks like that, mark the button enable view. Otherwise, the participants or viewer cannot view the particular infographics by sharing the link. This is the shareable link. If you copy the link, you can share the link through email and WhatsApp also. And also, we can export the infographics to the social media through the Facebook and Twitter, G Plus and Pinterest also. And the password protections also available. If you want to go with password protection, definitely you need to pay some amount for that. This is the infographics I have made for my students. And now I'm going to demonstrate how to create infographics. Sir, my Google page is visible, sir.
Yes, it's visible, sir.
Okay. So just go to type the Chrome picture chart. It shows like that. Just click picture chart. Just click sign up. Yeah. So already I have login up. So it's directly enter into dashboard. Just click create new. So these are the things available. Just click infographics. Some already existed templates and blank sheets also available. If you want to go with some existed template, just click use template. It's open like that, and we can edit here by using this kind of a tool. And here some basic tools also available. We can change the color, we can change the text, those things. So it is the title. We can move the title from anywhere. And if you add some detailed information about and go to text tool, choose subtitle. Here we can use the explanation about biodiversity. Like that, variety and variability among all of our living organisms. Like that, we can explain the content here, and the things we can move anywhere. And if you want to change the background of the color, and also we can insert something also, and just go to graphics. So it's having five components, and first one is shapes and icons. Here some shapes are available based on requirement. We can insert the shapes here, and we can move anywhere, and we can increase the shape and decrease the shapes based on our requirement. And next one is shapes basics. Here some shapes, basic shapes are available. A to Z shapes are available. If you want to explain about some education oriented things, just click education. Here some things, books templates, and some pictures is there. So here scientific pictures also there. We can, if you want to these pictures for your content, you can insert these pictures in your infographics, and you can move anywhere based on your requirement. You can move, and you can increase the height, increase the size also, increase and decrease the size also. And next one is illustration. If you want to illustrate some people like doctor, engineer, disabled persons, like that, you can choose this kind of illustration for your explanation purpose. And the same thing, you can move anywhere, and you can increase and decrease the infographical page. And next one is design components. These are the things, three components is there. One is the list and timeline and comparisons. So based on your content, you can prepare the templates here. So here timeline templates is there from the origin to till date. What are the things? What are the quality? What are the output? We can, if you want to mention those things, we can use timeline templates. Otherwise, we can use comparison template also. So here already existed some comparison templates. So if you want to compare two products, just click comparison, two product comparisons, and you can mention the product name and you can mention the qualities and characteristics here. And next one is upload option. So if you want to upload some pictures and data, pictures here, just go to browse image and select the picture from your computer. It's loading. Yeah, it's up here. Just click here and it's appear in the infographical page, and you can increase and decrease the size of the picture based on your requirement. You can move anywhere. And next one is background color. So if you want to change any background color, just go to background color and click some background, and you can change so many backgrounds based on your needs. And next one is theme of the color, theme of color scheme. Here already existed some color. If you want to change the theme or color scheme, just click. The color of the scheme will change. And next one is tools. So it's having a three portions. One is charts and maps and videos. The first one is chart. If we want to insert some graphical representations, we need to some data. So here the area we can insert some data. So like that, and just insert graph. So it's appear in the particular infographical page, and this is also we can move anywhere and just go to the chart. And here the types of charts. Here we can mention the title of the chart, and here the so many types of charts are there available. And one is a vertical bar and triangle bar and horizontal bar and line graph and area and dot to a donut. So these are the types of chart is available. So we can choose any kinds of chart. Otherwise, we can edit here. Otherwise, we can import the import your data here. Just click and we can import the data already we have stored in our system in Excel mode, and that will be appear here, and we can get a graph after inserting graph here. So next one is maps. So if you want to explain about India, just click map and just click India. Here the India map is available. And if you want to change the color of Tamil Nadu, here edit option is there. Just click the edit this map. It's appear like that. I want to change the color of Tamil Nadu. So just click Tamil Nadu. So it shows here, and just click the color and just click some various color. So like that, we can differentiate various states, various diversity of our country by using by differentiating various colors. So like that, we can change the colors of map, and here some not only the India, so entire world map is also that. We can use the geographical oriented location based infographic for our based on our content for our teaching purpose. And just click the insert map, it's appear here, and this is also we can move anywhere. And next one is a video tool. Just click video. So it asks video URL. Just go to YouTube. Yeah, here we can copy the link and just paste here and insert the video. And the video also we can track anywhere. We can increase and decrease based on our requirement. So based on the place, we can move anywhere. So this is the common. This is the main things for using creating a infographics, and here the tools. We can add a blog. Just click plus symbol. It's add here, and we can move up. So if you want to move up in this blank page in the first place, just click the button, move up. It's automatically moving up upper side. And here the move down options, and we can clone block. We can break into a two portions of infographical page by using clone block. And this is the delete block. If you click delete block, the page will deleted. And this is the setting. And also, so these are the undo and redo and lock options and color, various color. So I want to change the color of this thing. Just click and we can change by using this. And this is the opacity. So the opacity, we can increase and decrease the opacity, transparency of any text and pictures and video also. So if you want to change the opacity of this video format, just click opacity and it is automatically decreasing. So we can decrease the opacity of, increase and decrease the opacity of any pictures and text and video and graphs also. So this is the arrangement tool. So picture arrangement, we can bring forward, bring backward, bring up, and send backward, send forward. So for the tools, the further arrangement is available here. And some text tools. So we can change the font size, font and boldness and arrangement tools. And these are the common things that are available in the MS Office also. So this is the common thing. And next one is saved options. After finishing your infographical page, just click saved option. And we can preview our infographical presentation. Just click infographic preview. It shows like that. And exit preview. And click download option. Here it asks PNG format, PDF format, and PowerPoint format. So this level up, definitely we need to pay some amount. And normally and medium quality, we can get our infographical page in a PNG format. Just click download PNG. So it's downloaded. Yeah, it's downloaded. So your final greetings like to be that only. We can get a narrow presentation, narrow infographical page in a PNG format. So usually we can add so many blogs, but my experience, 2-3 infographical page is enough to cover entire syllabus, entire lesson. Okay, then share, click OK. So it's asked, definitely we need to make this link as public to enable the link. Then only the viewers or students can view our shareable link. And here we can copy the link, and we can copy the link. We can share the link to anyone through WhatsApp. And here we can export the link to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Google Plus also. Your final greetings like to be that only. This is the infographical page. I have made it for my students. Erickson development stage of psychosocial development. Here some information is there, and some stages of some pictures and differentiation is there, and pictures also there, and timeline is there, and some video also inserted. So just click the video. This is the shareable link format. We can view the link. We can learn by using and sharing the link. So we can insert a video in this content, and we can enlarge as it is in the YouTube. So like that, we can use some text frame. We can increase. I have increased the text frame and mentioned some so many components of so many stages based on the content, and some videos.
You talk about young adulthood, and here is where you're introducing some more interesting mechanisms: intimacy versus isolation.
Yeah, that's all. And these are the infographics as developed by my students for their assignment purposes. They have inserted some text, some text frame, some sticky notes, and video also.
Hello, kids. Do you know how plants make their own food? No? Well, this video elaborates the process of photosynthesis, by which plants make their own food, etc.
The screen is not visible.
Through the stomata. Following reaction takes place in the...
Yeah.
Let us demonstrate a simple experiment.
So that's all. These are the things made by my students for their assignment submission. And the only thing, if we share this to share this picture chart, infographical chart, we can watch anywhere. So because of it is a cloud-based storage, so we can use the kind of infographics in anywhere. And the infographics, it's not only in the picto chart. Some other platform, some other infographics platform also there. That is Pytable, Canva, Easily, Infogram, Infographia, Presentation Go, Penkage, Wishme.
Sir, your screen is not visible, sir.
Okay, fine. It's visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay. Okay,
Now
okay.
it's visible, sir.
Okay, okay. So other infographics platform, Bytable, Canva, Easily, Infogram, Infographia, Presentation Go, and Venkage and Visme. These are the other platforms is also there, and we can create a very good presentation for our teaching and learning purposes. And my experience, PictoChart is the best platform for creating infographic. And next one is, sir, is there any time to continue the next tool?
So exactly how long it takes, sir, for the next tool, sir?
Yeah, it's take. Yeah, I will finish at 12 o'clock, sir.
So, yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Sir has already connected. Srinivas sir has connected to us.
Okay, thank you. And I concluded my session. So during the pandemic period, so technology is reached everywhere, from the newborn baby to old man. They are using technology, and here the baby LKG students completed his task and enjoying his accomplishment. And here I acknowledge for that, and I acknowledge the TLC SNDT University because I have learned these infographics from there. And I thank my management, Tyagaraja College of Preceptors, who always supported to me to be act as a resource person and participating so many things, so many workshops and seminars. And I acknowledge Dr. K. Tyagu for his constant motivation and support. And I thank Dr. S. Prakash, my principal. He's who always support me, and Dr. T. Premalada, Assistant Professor, Bharatiyar University, for your constant support. And I thank Susan Kumar Nayak, who introduced me to Jagannath sir and Rural Institute of Higher Studies. And I thank Rural Institute of Higher Studies, Bograi, Odisha, for the wonderful opportunity. And I thank PictoChat and Venkesh and Google Pictures and SlideShare, because of these pictures and informations I gathered from SlideShare and Google Pictures only. And thank you all. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. You have demonstrated a very good and beautiful app that is which is very free, which is available in free of cost. That is PictoChat, and I found myself it's very essential for a teacher to prepare that PictoChat, and it will create, definitely it will create a curiosity among the learner, as well as they will be attracted towards learning, and it will be very engaging also. Thank you very much, sir. Please, sir, I'm requesting you, you will be connected with us for the question and answer session. Next, now it's the question and answer session. And for that, I welcome Professor Srinivas, sir. And
can we request Jagannath?
Yes,
Rajkumar?
Sir.
Close pannunga.
Yeah, sure.
Please.
Sorry. Yeah, you go ahead, Jagannath.
Yeah, sir. So it's a question and answer, sir. So for that, I would like to request respected Triveni ma'am to conduct this session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Jagannath Babu. Good morning to all. One question from Ankona Sarkar to Srinivas sir. How to help reach technology to the children who are economically and socially challenged? Srinivas sir.
Yeah, madam, I think before I answer the question, I think last time while making the presentation, I have opened the chat box also, and some of the questions I have taken. Yeah, my answer to this question is both Government of India, state governments, and many philanthropists are doing their best to provide the necessary hardware, necessary training, and because we never anticipated this online teaching of this kind of magnitude, suddenly this has come up in the pandemic time. I think already I'm very sure that there are certain efforts are already prepared, created. First of all, one is hardware is required, and enabling software is required, internet connectivity, and data packs. All these things are required from for the client side. But for the teacher side also, I think Government of India and even there's different state governments and many institutions are working in such a manner that the teachers can be able to do that. Processes are on, but it takes some time. What is important is, like pandemic, we never anticipated of this magnitude. So suddenly when we want to meet up this kind of a things, it takes some time, but I'm sure that the government is seriously working on this front.
Thank you, sir. Another question from Supriya Jana. What are award-winning online faculty perspectives regarding the key comprehensives for online teaching?
I have already again replied the same thing also,
sir.
Heaven
Yes, sir.
here.
Yes.
But let me answer once again. What is if you ask me my personal opinion, if you want to be a good teacher, first and foremost thing, you should be good at your domain knowledge. Second important thing is adequate exposure on technology and technology related to the online teaching, like synchronous platforms as well as the asynchronous platforms. The third important thing is the teacher must be creative, teacher must be innovative. Fourth important thing is they should have got into the uh, uh, they should have completed at least a few of the courses being offered. And last but not the least, you must be a practitioner before you can start preaching it. Okay, so these are all the some of the aspects. I'm not saying only one aspect. These are all the general aspects which can be taken care by the teacher concerned.
Thank you, sir. Another question from Dr. Manish Bhatnagar. In Rajasthan, teachers are appointed with negative marks. Which type of competencies our education system has?
So again, before this pandemic, yes, of course, we have realized that basic knowledge of the IT knowledge is an essential for the teachers. But now, what I'm seriously looking and keeping in view of our new education policy 2020, where the role of technology in higher education, teachers should have adequate knowledge of pedagogical knowledge in terms of using in online teaching, instructional design in terms of using the quality online teaching. The third important thing is resources, because there are good quality resources are available in terms of ICT facilities of Government of India, and as well as the other OER facilities. So at the same time, these are all some of the things required. Now coming back to this negative marking, I couldn't able to understand what is this negative marking is all about. Yeah, I am not much clear about what is this negative marking is all about, madam.
Pardon me, sir. It's due to reservation policies, and minus 63 marks teachers are appointed in colleges of Rajasthan. And same situation is various schools in the various schools of Rajasthan. And most of the intelligent students are suffering. And here in a college, particularly in Bhara and Bundi district, the total number of students admitted in the classroom of a college are with reservations, reserved category. There is not a single seat for general category.
I think, sir, these are the some of the policy matters which we better to avoid it in this kind of discussion. I think adequately these things, whenever the governments and are taking the process, they will be duly deliberated in other forum. But better, I think this is not that much appropriate in this case, and we will discuss this one in another form then surely.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Another question from Arun Misra. How to provide educational technology help to do tribal area students who have been using Odia language in their writings?
I think this one also I try to answer when I make my presentation. Again, I've been telling the same thing. See, for example, not necessarily there are around 20, around 85 or 90 languages are there. So not necessarily one should, and even the new education policy is talking about the mother tongue. So my point is, if not only the tribal students, any student, for example, the student studying in Bhubaneswar, Kotak, Balasore, Kurda, or any place, he or she cannot understand. And what we are doing in our classroom, even though initially we start speaking in English, we can move into the Odia, we can move into the Telugu, we can move into the Bengali, we can move into some other language. So what I'm trying to say in this context is, if the teacher is technologically competent of creating his or her own resources using the simple softwares, video creation softwares, I think let's create an ODI itself. What matters to us? See, it is very important. We should connect with our learners. We should engage with our learners. Language is only a communication channel. That's all. Here, no, everybody is understanding English. I am speaking, but I prefer to speak in Hindi. I prefer to speak in Tamil. I prefer to speak in Telugu. I prefer to speak in Kannada and 5, 6 more languages. My only point in this case is whichever the general one where the student can able to understand, because our purpose is, and this again in our new education policy, this has been talked about. It's not only marks, and we want to prepare for the job levels also, but at the same time try to encourage the students to learn at least other than those two languages on a definite manner. I'll do. I can tell you something very interestingly. In my university, I have 5 good friends. We have Pandas, we have Mohantis, we have Biswals, and we have Bariks, we have Maliks. I'll tell you something. Whenever I sit with him now, after so many years, I started learning little bit of Odia also. Okay. And my point in this case is I enjoy sitting with them while speaking. So it all, we were commonly demanding many such things. That's the unity and integrity of this kind of thing. There is one small question, madam. I think somebody is asking, what measures are needed? This is Navakrishna Mishra. Can I answer that question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What says Navakrishna Mishra is saying, what measures are needed to transform learning from push to pull? Yes. First and foremost thing, push to pull is one is a centralized push mode of teaching, is a centralized learning process, and which is being prevailed for the last so many years. But my only point is, if you want to move towards the pull mode of a learning, what is important is you need technology also provides a lot many flexibility to move towards the push pull mode of a learning. In the pull mode of a learning, don't think that the student learns everything on his own. It is the under the mentorship and guidance of the teacher. So first and foremost thing, let me give a few example. What are the other circles are there? One of the circle is there are a lot of online courses are there. First of all, teachers should join some of the online courses and request the students to join there. Second important thing is lot of mentoring is happening. Lot of tools are available, lot of databases are there. First and foremost thing, teachers should imbibe those things, understand those things, and encourage for the students for the overall development. And the pull, and very importantly, and after having all these things, I am not in favor of removing the classroom teacher teaching is very central of any class. But at the same time, what happened, this process to be integrated, so this requires a change in pedagogy. If you want to involve this requires change in pedagogy. Our classroom typical chalk and talk or a lecture method will not work over here. That's the reason I touched upon the flip mode, the pedagogy first approach, where before coming to the teacher's class, The student should be provided an environment in such a way that they should go through the material and come prepare for the class. Because for the last 25 years, so much material has been developed by the academic community, which is available on the public domain. So that teacher first of all align that first for clarity and more activity based learning, because it's not a theoretical concept alone. Because unless until it is connected with a job, we want a person to get a job oriented. That is more important for this particular context. This is what the answer is. I answered your question. Yes, madam. Please go ahead.
Sir, another question.
Sir.
That is asked by Ranjan Kumar Sabu.
Sir.
Most of the things available in infographics, as you saw, and I can see also available in MS PowerPoint. So how it more effective than MS PowerPoint from
Hello.
educational perspective?
Hello, sir. That question was for another speaker, but I have a question for Srinivas sir. If you will allow me, then I will ask the question to Srinivas sir.
Yeah, it's nice.
Identify yourself.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm Ranjan Kumar Sahu, PhD scholar of Delhi University. Sir, I have a doubt, sir. If we'll talk about the stages of ICT usage just suggested by the UNESCO, that emerging stage, applying stage, infusing stage, and transforming stage. In India, we will find that we are at applying stage and leading towards infusing stage due to the drive force of the COVID crisis. Whereas the current scenario of education 4.0, which the new education policy is also talking about, need transforming stage of ICT usage. So we are in a stage of applying, and the scenario is asking for transforming stage of ICT usage. So how to deal with this paradox?
I think your voice is suddenly dropped down, Ranjan. But what I can tell you is, as far as the theoretical aspects are concerned, that's fine. I'm not. But what I'm trying to say, if at all, if you want to enable a teacher to use the technology in its classroom teaching, I first and foremost think what is required is let's have a complete hands-on. Again, I repeating it, hands-on case-based training program for the teachers, and giving and that is a basic primitive level. And the basic primitive level, I'm not talking about Word, Excel, PowerPoint. I think we assume that they know it. But what I am looking is go for a little advanced, because I'm talking about the application level of ICT in my answer to you. Second point is, let's make use of the facility like Google Drives. That is one of the very important component. Second important thing is Google Tools for Education, Microsoft Tools for Education, and the tools which is supporting this collaborative learning, the tools which is supporting the collaborative working, and like simple like Google Groups, Jamboard. This is the second level of. The third important level is, now we need to prepare the faculty tomorrow. If you are going to teach, you know what is happening in the name of online teaching. Yes, one component is getting executed. I'm not saying everywhere it is happening. Majority places, both the components are working out. Only synchronous mode of teaching is being happening with the help of a Zoom. But what happens for those students, if the students are slow, and after the class, if they want to recollect what the teacher have said, or before going to the class also what they want to see, how exactly this process would be done. So I think the training should be done in such a way that basics need to be covered first. And I must tell you, I involved in many such, many UGC HRDCs like University of Hyderabad. Recently, Utkal University also conducted one such programs are being conducted. The second point, when it comes to the training of the teachers, one thing which please keep it in mind is, every session is a 90-minute session. always 4 components should be there: lecture component, discussion component, demonstration component, and hands-on exposure component. Before coming to the program, whether it is a face-to-face workshop, whether it is a online mode of a workshop, provide the reading material to the students, timetable to the students, expected outcomes to the students, roles and responsibilities need to be told very clearly. This is what you are going to learn. This is the job of the resource person. This is the job of the administrators and coordinating team. This is the teacher's job. One more small important thing, if you allow me to say, madam, I wish to say, we conduct a program in NEPA. And when I issue a certificate, very clearly I've been saying, after, and whatever things I have given the practical work, everything, whatever they had to implement on their local computer, local level, keep it in a Word file or a PowerPoint file, and those files has to be submitted finally to get the certificate. Otherwise, how do I come to know? And it has got 2 advantages. Advantage number 1, what stage they have crossed. Advantage number 2 is, next, I generally provide a 30 days support after the training. So what I'm trying to say, it's not only one type of a job. So the point is very clearly taken here. Unless and until we take the professional competencies or developing the professional competencies of the teacher, it will be very difficult. So these are the stages which we need to do, which require a lot of patience, which require a lot of perseverance, which require a lot of planning, and very, very importantly, it requires a lot of commitment from both the parties. So because we are investing the teachers, because we are investing the future, because this same teacher will go to the 400 places, 400 students, they can talk to the 4,000 students. That's how the replicate the effect would be there. This is what my answer.
Thank you, sir. Last question. Our ex-student, Ajay Kumar Behera. What is the difference between verbal teaching skill and non-verbal teaching skill? Very easy question, sir.
See, verbal teaching and non-verbal teaching. See, basically, the point which I've been referring to, that one is, sometimes what happened, we have been explaining everything from the teacher point of view. And many times what happened, like, the earlier speaker has conveyed small pictures of children using the mobile phone. It is always communicating without any message. It already message was very loud and clear. What I mean to say that, I think a teacher has to have that kind of a capabilities, both verbal and non-verbal communication. That is one point I said. And another point, I think, so none of us has asked this question, is questioning strategies. So, so what happened? Questioning strategies in the sense, when you give a lecture, keeping in view some objectives, and there will be some expected outcomes are there. So my simple point in this case is: are we going to test the knowledge level of the topic? Are we going to test the application level of the topic? Are we going to test the analytical, critical thinking level of the topic? That's where the questioning strategies also need to be planned. Friends, I can tell you one thing. All these things which we have been doing for many years in a conventional face-to-face classroom, but only difference now is, again, thanks to this corona pandemic, we started revisiting those things. And luckily, at the same time, there were new education policy has also come. And again, please try to understand, new education policy, nobody is going to dictate, give you the orders and do like this. So you had to evolve. You had to see that what best. I think you must have heard about the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, has said in many words, it should come from bottom-up approach. They said some pedagogical processes. So we need to know that what best can be suited. And again, I'll tell you, in a classroom, you are the king and you are the queen, and teacher is supreme. Teacher is supreme. Teacher is supreme. Teacher and teaching process cannot be replaced. Even in online also, without the intervention of a teacher, nothing is going to happen if you want to have a quality teaching learning process.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, very much. Thank you, sir.
So I can leave Jagannath?
Sir, one question from another student, sir.
Yeah, please.
Please ask.
Good evening to all. Myself Project Kumar Dhanna, a student of RIHS program. And my question is to Nivas Harish. What type of hardware exposure is needed for online courses?
What type of
hardware exposure?
Formal exposure is needed for online courses. No. Online courses in the sense, see, there are two things. Are you going to be a producer or are you going to be a consumer? Producer means if you want to be a teacher, if you want to start a course on a online course, your preparation will be different. And if you want to be a student, your preparation will be different. So for example, if you want to be a teacher, first of all, let me come to that part. If you want to be a teacher, first and foremost thing, subject expertise, online ecosystem, thorough understanding of online ecosystem, resources, appropriate pedagogy, appropriate the instructional design, and planning for the assessments, planning for the collaborative learning environment, it should be there. When it comes to the student, student is only a consumer. But what is important in the student also, how to follow the online session. Online session means we are only talking about the Zoom classes, attending Zoom classes. No. Along with the Zoom classes, there is a learning management system. And these learning management systems are providing the learner to learn on his own pace, space, and time. So we should create an environment how the student follow the lessons, number one. Second important thing is how to take the advantage of discussion forum, which is a collaborative learning environment where the doubts of the students will be answered in a near real-time basis. How to post the questions. Third, there is a live platforms also like chat platforms. And fourth one is how to attempt the assignment, how to upload the assignment, how to take part in an online course with the help of others also can be learning. Peer learning can happen. These are all these steps the students should do in an online course. But one thing I can tell you, if you initiate the process right now, I think one of the important thing which is missing in currently is a learning management system. Every college should have a learning management system. If you can go for a Moodle, it is freely available. If you go for the Google Classroom, it is again freely available. So let's make use of that. So there is one more advantage. Wherever the internet connectivity is a problem, the students can able to access the material which is already available there and can start learning. And wherever the internet connectivity issues are resolved, and the student can also participate in the live classes. That's how. But even in the learning management system, teacher again plays a major role. Without teacher, without teaching intervention, nothing is going to happen. I hope I answered your question of the student.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
it's
you.
Really a great honor, and you answered all the questions very clearly. It's very crystal clear answers, sir, to the point, and I think all the viewers should enjoy it. And one more thing, that it's a heartfelt gratitude towards to you, sir, because with a very short span of time, you have arranged. You have contributed your valuable time. I know, sir, you are very busy with different schedule. Yesterday, you are talking about national pollution education, but still you have agreed with me, sir. It's a great pleasure, and my heartfelt gratitude to you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for being a very such nice. I cannot express my gratitude exactly, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
So nice, so nice.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And my all these presentations are available on my site. And those who are there are somebody is asking that, and they can type prof k sri srinivas.in. They could able to take all the resources are available there, and you can use it, reuse it, revise it, remix it, redistribute without giving any attribution to me. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll share it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
So now the question is for S. Rajkumar sir. Are you there,
Yes.
sir?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Yeah. So the question is from Ranjan Kumar Sahu. Ranjan, can you unmute your audio? Oh, yeah. Ask now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can ask now.
Sir Rajkumar sir, as you show us about the infographics, so I also using the infographics in my laptop also simultaneously as you are also doing. But the thing which I observe and which you also show us, the most of the features are also available in Microsoft PowerPoint. So my point is how it different from Microsoft PowerPoint from an educational perspective. If I am how it different? Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, super, sir. Nice question. Actually, infographics usually one page. At a glance, we can give an overview of entire content. Whereas in a PowerPoint presentation is a multi-slide narrative. And the infographics often present content using a combination of quantitative data, symbols and icons, and textual explanations are there in the picture chart. So these things is not possible in the PowerPoint presentation. I hope that helps you.
So, sir, another question from I don't know the name, that is F95 like that. He asked that how this infographic can be used in the educational context, very specifically in terms of the degree students, sir.
Yeah, we can use the infographics for all subjects. After creating an infographics, we can share the link to in the WhatsApp group or email, and this link helps to learn many things anytime, anywhere, any place.
Yeah, so that's great, sir. Any other questions? So exactly, we had means Rajkumar sir had another presentation demonstration, but due to lack of time, he could not. But we'll accommodate in any other means workshop which we will conduct in the future, and it will be a great one, sir. And there are many questions, but I did not exactly while I'm hosting, I did not get the questions exactly. There are many questions regarding. I'm looking at, sir. Can you please, uh, anyway, so thank you very much, sir, from my core of my heart, and it's a nice demonstration. And if anyone from our participant want to ask question, you can ask. Otherwise, you can give also your feedback regarding this
Hello.
workshop. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dr.
Sir,
Manish Bhatnagar, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm having some problems related with the attendance, online attendance. So what is the best system for taking the attendance online during our class? I am using the Google form, but for daily attendance, it's not familiar to me, and I am having some trouble.
So over to Rajkumar, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, the question for you.
It's the question for me, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So you are using Google Form. That's a great thing, and you can create that from Google Form. You can create that form also, and you can tag it directly. It will be converted to Excel sheet. That is a great thing, sir. And any other things, our technical expert, I have no idea regarding that, sir. Very frankly speaking.
Because sir, I am using the Moodle also, but the same problem I am facing, that how to means calculate the monthly attendance like this. Have you any pattern or any idea about this, so I can get that?
So exactly, I am also using that only, that Google platform, Google Form, because it is very easy to convert the Google Form into Excel sheet. We can collect their information regarding emails, all that things, and we can communicate easily. Moodle also very useful, and it can be used for assignment and different aspects. Sir, we can communicate with students. We can give some time for students that in this period you can just send your assignment, like that. They can rectify all that things Moodle can do. But if any idea regarding that, Rajkumar sir will tell, sir. Please, sir.
Sure. So monthly attendance we can't maintain entirely. The day by day Google Form is helpful to maintaining entire your attendance. And Moodle and that link we can provide it.
Sir, my question was that I am taking attendance daily. Students are filling that form, Google form.
Okay.
I am providing daily. But how to manage it? Because the chronic order of students is different every day.
Yeah.
While I am getting response in Google Sheet.
Yes. Yes.
In my drive.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how to manage it?
Yeah, and after downloading your Excel format sheet, and there is an apps and A2 is at alphabet arrangement. While if you manage like that, we can find the alphabet order. You can.
Some students are absent. It will create a big problem every day. So if you have some idea that sheet can be managed annual or say semester for a particular semester, so it will be helpful for me and other teachers too.
Yeah, actually we can find the presence number of students have present in the particular examination or particular class. That only we can't think about absentees. So we can force for attending the class or attending the examinations. Otherwise, we can't maintaining these things in other format.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So any other questions or any other feedback if you want to provide, please, sir.
Sir, what is the difference between this PictoChart, Canva, and MindMeister? So, so what is the exact difference which is to be preferably used? Because some people, different people give different recommendations.
Yes. So my recommendation is a PictoChart because of so many features and tools is there in the PictoChart, but it is not available in the Canva. But the only thing, the Canva is like to PPT, the page by page, slide by slide only we can get it from Canva. But the only the positive thing from Canva is anyone can share the thing, share the infographics to anyone. So that is feature is available. So that feature is available in the Canva. So if you share the Canva infographics, you can share, you can edit 2 more 3% by shareable link.
And there is one more, sir, MindMeister.
Mindster, yeah. So Mindster also the low number of tools and features are also the features only that. So I recommended PictoChart and the Canva.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. He was Dr. Jogendra Pal, sir. That asked a nice question. Any other question from our participants? Okay. So exactly, Dr. Gate is not with us because he had some another arrangement or another engagement. So he had sent me a message that he had to attend another webinar. So anyway, it's a great honor to listen to all the speakers, and it is very, very valuable that what Rajkumar sir has told about that PictoChart and pictograph, all that things, and our listener also, our participants also use it. So now it's the time for vote of thanks. For that, I'd like to request our respected ma'am. Over to you, ma'am, for the vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am. Please unmute, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jagannath Kumar, sir. Good afternoon to all for second day international program. As the last part of the program, myself, Srimati Tribeni Thoda, Senior Lecturer in Education, RHS Bhagorai, Baleswar, Odisha, India, organizing secretary of this webinar, has been assigned to convey the vote of thanks on behalf of my department as well as our college, Rural Institute of Higher Studies, Bhagorai. First of all, I would like to give thanks to Professor Dr. Madhumita Das, Vice Chancellor, Fakirmohan University, Baleswar, Odisha, the chief patron of our program, who has contributed her most valuable time and energy to make this program grand success. We are thankful to you again, ma'am. I would like to give thanks to our beloved principal, Professor Sushil Kumar Giri, for his wholehearted cooperation and guidance to make this webinar successful. Thank you, sir. I am thankful Professor K. Srinivas sir for his keynote address that has given us an insight into the new dimension of education through technology and gaming. He has also shared his valuable views and spent his time and energy, which will be immensely beneficial for our future development. Thank you very much, sir, for joining with us and enlightening us in a lot of things. I am extremely pleased to give thanks to our honorable resource person, Makaria Goeta, who has contributed his views, ideas, and enlightened us. His most valuable talk has inspired us all for a state ahead in the field of education through new technology. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt thanks goes in favor of Professor Dr. S. Rajkumar for his lively discussion on the topic. His views and ideas would definitely be an asset for us. Thank you, sir. I am thankful to convener Dr. Jagannath Kumar sir, my colleagues, whose dynamic attitude and hard labor has made the webinar successful. Thank you. I am thankful to my HOD, Mr. Ramesh Chandra Patra sir, who is the coordinator of this webinar. His visionary suggestion and wholehearted cooperation has given this program and happy ending. Thank you, sir. I would like to give thanks to my colleague, Mr. Anu Kumar Samal sir, who is the moderator of this program. I also thankful to our organizing member, Srimati Sushila Baladas and Jivan Kumar Konda. I have to give my thanks from the bottom of my heart, Dr. Dhirendra Kumar Janna sir, Department of Political Science, Mr. Ranjit Kumar Mondal, Department of English, Tapan Kumar Ponda, Department of Physics, for their combined support in technical field, and also they were contributed a lot for making this success. Thank you, sir. Last but not the least, I am thankful to all participants, media persons, teaching and non-teaching staff, students of these institutions, and others who have cooperated to make this program success. Thank you all once again.
So my gratitude towards all the speakers, resource persons, and very importantly, our participants from all over India and abroad. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's a great honor, and we'll continue our work, and we expect your participation in our next future. Thanks a lot, and this is the closing of this meeting. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, this is Ranjan from this side. Actually, I guess in every webinar, the feedback from the participant is quite essential for the further motivation and further, creation of any kind of webinar. So as RHS is my alma mater, so I would like to provide some feedback on this webinar, if you will allow me.
Yeah, definitely. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So I have been, participating so many seminar, even we are conducting in our department also. So as a participant, I would like to jot thanks to all the research persons for their enriching talk, for making the webinar wonderful and memorable to each of us. So I'm just talking on behalf of all the participants. Believe it or not, I'm still struggling to find the right words to properly describe how fantastic all sessions were. And thank you so much for delivering to us such a remarkable, outstanding presentation. I really enjoyed and learned lots from it. It was given in very visual, appealing form. It was very well designed, practical, valuable for anyone who wants to enhance their understanding about learning management skill, assessment through gamification, education, infographics, and many more as discussed. And lastly, noted with special thanks to the coordinator and the team of Department of Education, RHS Vogarai, for all the hard work that you all had put in bringing such a wonderful webinar. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Ranjan. And we expect and we wish you all the very best, and you proceed to towards a bright future. Thank you very much. So this is the end of this meeting. Thank